to be my game.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Soapy, and I'm here with Teddy Panda, and we're back for the NRG Weekly Locals for Riftbound, taking down another Nexus night. We've had quite the variety of decks present since Vendetta came out, and Milwaukee is coming up as our big local event, so a lot of the players here kind of using this as their testing ground going into the big tournament. What are you thinking we're going to see tonight, Teddy?
Definitely some Kennen. As we've seen for the past 2 weeks, there's been at least one Kennen every round. Hopefully, I want to see some Mel action, get some gist on those. Definitely not going to see anything towards like the Aurelias and stuff like that, because I don't think we have many of those in these locals. But probably a lot of orange, a lot of purple, and then whatever their supporting color is, whether it's blue or yellow.
Yeah, and I think we've kind of seen a meta play out, at least here at the locals, of exactly what you've described, where we have these kind of very prominent colors, whether it be the purple or the orange, and then these supportive colors around them to really support those legends. I do think it's interesting, though, like the sheer amount of variety that we're seeing in the locals. I would think that this close to an event, we would kind of start to see that consolidation around these like more meta decks as people prep. But I think that Riftbound is just a game where most lanes are still open and people are taking the time to experiment.
Definitely so. Just like League of Legends, just because I go to mid lane, I'm not always going to face a Veigar. I'm not always going to face a Yasuo.
Mm-hmm.
Just in Riftbound, there's so many legends you can play, a lot of new toys to do. We are still in the beginning of a very new set, so who knows what new toys like Leona might have gotten for those who want to force their way into an RQ, or see what kind of new strategies that Zed could do with some of the older cards that we didn't use before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just that open field. Everybody's getting what they want to do in this, and then seeing what they want to get out.
And I guess my question for you is like one deck that you want to see tonight and one deck that you do not want to see tonight.
I'll say there's no deck that I don't want to see. I've been enjoying Riftbound because of the variety of decks and the variety of styles that each legend can make towards an archetype. One deck I do want to see is Yi. I'm a Yi player, so I just want to see if there's any spice that I might use for Milwaukee in case that's what I play, or if there's something that I see that makes me go a different route.
Okay. I think round one pairings are up, so I believe we will be getting into a game here relatively soon. But I guess kind of give me your thoughts so far on what you think of the power level coming into the Vendetta meta. Like, what if you were going to Milwaukee tomorrow and not this weekend, what would you kind of assess as the strongest decks in the format currently?
Strongest decks would have to go towards Kennen, Kaisa, Diana. The decks that were kind of still the same over the past couple of metas, just with newer toys. Some of the newer ones to look out for are like what Miyuki is on, which is Mbessa. Irelia is still a good one to look out for. She's a little dark horse. Still pilot based.
Miyuki upgraded the legend since the last time we saw him.
Yes, he has.
So the Mbessa legend, is that the over number?
Yes, it is.
That is quite.
Not only are we on our rune games, we're also on our legend games around here too.
That is true. But
Chris is now on Jinx, which is different over the past couple of weeks. I believe it's been Nasus focused.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what changed for him.
As both players picking up their starting hands, see if we have any mulligans.
One thing, have you noticed in your games where even though the player who's going second sometimes mulligans before the first person?
I guess I haven't super recognized because I haven't played at like a comp REL level event.
Okay.
But mostly I've noticed that people kind of like mulligan at the same time. I believe technically, and correct me if I'm wrong, it is supposed to be the first person mulligans and then the second person mulligans.
I don't think there's ever really been a distinction about who mulligans when. I would have to double check rulings on that, but I feel like it's just always been TCG manner,
Yeah.
Player one chooses, player two chooses. So, but it looks like Miyuki starting us off with a 2-drop in Shen's Disciple.
Yes.
Okay,
And
interesting.
the
And
tentacles have made their first appearance on turn 1.
yep, and we will definitely be seeing a lot of that at Milwaukee. Up from the Deep definitely exploded the second player to turn 1.
Yeah, I think Up from the Deep is
Oh no, that's
definitely
a Marauder.
a strong card. I'll be intrigued to see how it plays. But I believe we're going to go get some tentacle tokens out there for... Yes, we have achieved the tentacles.
And there we go.
So, but we do get the first conquer from Ambessa. I believe there was no response, so we will conquer to 1. We did reduce the empower cost, so we also were able to empower, and then the Ambessa came down. Kind of exactly what you're looking for with Ambessa. You're looking to play first, conquer, get that empower, play the Ambessa. Hopefully next turn you get the conquer, and you start going crazy.
Yep. Well, so this line of playing from Yuki feels very safe because Jinx isn't like a Kaisa or a Pike that's looking to slam removal on you per turn. So like right now, we see the Starcross got pitched from the Zon Warrens. That's the type of game plan Jinx is really on. 1-for-1 trades that doesn't necessarily hinder you. It just slows you down so that way they can get their pieces together. So playing this Ambessa with no backup is really nice because now, like you see here, you just untap and you continue forward.
Yeah, right. And I mean, an Ambessa that gets to stick around. I mean, you watch the Starcross hit the bin, which, I mean, probably has you asking questions, right? Because that is one of the primary ways to deal with the Ambessa. I'm not seeing an answer to the Ambessa in the hand over there from...
No, Kaisa looks like a newer Vendetta card, Flash.
Yeah.
So it just looks like Chris is valuing the middle game of just point-for-point trade, kind of get a tempo groove going, really set up that back line for when it's time to fight Ambessa at 7 and throw a punch first.
Yeah, and it looks like these tentacles providing that value that we talked about, right? Especially if you're a bit of a slower purple deck, just being able to put some bodies to contest these battlefields early does allow you to not fall super far behind if you're going to play more of a value plan, as we do see the gold token hit the battlefield from the treasure hunter.
I wonder if that's a Pendulum Blade in Jinx. Kind of confusing what this newer card is. Yep, Pendulum Blade.
Okay.
So interesting to see how Jinx would utilize this. Usually that's an Akali card that you see because the trigger on the equipment stacks when you go into a showdown. Use the Akali, bring it back, and you go back in. So interesting to see how Jinx uses it, but purple Jinx does ready herself when you discard cards. So
Okay. Yeah, it's I mean, even on points so far, both of the players opting to hold their material on the board instead of getting in an early fight over those resources. And I think that while that is good for Jinx, I do think it favors Ambessa in the current state. But I wonder if the Starcross pitch is a little bit of a mind game here, because like if you watch your opponent pitch the Starcross, you got to be worried about empowering the Ambessa, because like you're like, oh, they might have another one. Like, they don't even need that one.
no, generally when you see a pitch like that, that kind of gives you a telltale sign of maybe they have a fizz. To you, that might tell you that they have like a falling star, for instance, right? Because if they're pitching a bounce spell, they might be trying to use interaction before through something other than other means.
That's true, but I mean, the Ambessa herself can't be dealt damage outside of...
Right, so that's where the
showdowns.
fizz comes in, because now you're looking, like I said, to progress board, and then you drop the fizz to get rid of the Ambessa rather than using the Starcross outright, because you have access to it in your trash. So it's probably just to protect other cards for that mid game that he's setting up for. Because if it's Starcross is your answer to Ambessa, you can always use fizz to do it later. You don't need it necessarily into hand. And we have another one, as you said.
Yeah.
But we're not targeting Ambessa here. So looks like we're just trying to get the Zon Warrens, filter our hand a little bit more, is what I'm assuming.
It does look like we are going to get
It
the
is
removal.
Ambessa's turn, so
Yes.
this must have been in response to a showdown.
Yes, I believe it was in response to the attempted conquer, and now we are removing the Kaisa now that she is not protected by the Starcrossed.
Yep.
And now we will get in with the Mbessa for the Conquer to 4 points.
And after seeing 2 star crosses in the trash, this is when you really feel safe to empower this Mbessa, because that generally means you're only fighting against a Fizz, which is a clock against the time. And then anything else is more damage-based removal, right? Most people aren't playing Rebuke these days. A lot of people have switched to either an existential dread or a switcheroo game plan because of the tentacles. So you're able to go a little bit more wider.
Yeah, and Mbessa just mucking up the board here. I mean, the first mate's going to allow the pulling back of our unit, which is going to prevent us from losing a lot of material, which sets us up pretty well as we are also able to pull the Mbessa back to base. So, I mean, this is a pretty comfortable position. I mean, no Bellows Breath available in purple red, so you're going to have, I think, some trouble clearing the base, although the Falling Star, always a possibility. So,
but with the Ruin Runner, you're feeling really strong against a Falling Star. As of right now, your most problematic threat is the Mbessa, which gunks up an entire Falling Star. So you're feeling real nice if that's what they're doing, to get rid of a pit rookie and a first mate, because you're just going to conquer with your 2 bigger bodies anyways, and then just keep the might pressure there.
yeah, and the 2 Ruthless Strikes kind of not providing a whole ton of value in the hand right now. But as we go to conquer those battlefields next turn, we may see them come out. It's a bit difficult. I'm actually intrigued to see if we will try to conquer just to stay relatively even in points with this tentacle.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to go to Zon Orange just to get more cards into our hand, filter a little bit, see if we can find an answer to this board that we're looking at. So we'll drop the Jinx to start this, because Zon Warrens will ready the Jinx after the Conquer, so that way you can at least get 2 points.
Yeah.
And then probably hold a Flash, so that way you can start doing your game plan next turn.
We do see one of the Ruthless Strikes hit the bin. Looks like the pick. Oh, couldn't quite see the pickup there, although we do see the Jinx ready. The Jinx will go for the Conquer.
Noxious Hopeful was the pickup.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll conquer to 4, keep the points even. Now it's Miyuki to take these 2 battlefields, either hold one or hold both for the win afterwards. We know there's a Flash in Chris's hand, so there's not going to be much fighting going on still, and over the next 2 turns is probably where we will see combat begin.
Yeah, and starting off with this tentacle is a good idea, because if you are planning on getting the Jinx, you don't want to attack her first, because then obviously the Flash can save the tentacle and the Jinx. Forcing the Flash to only protect the Jinx obviously leaves you with less material. I guess my counter argument to that, though, is like, if you know that you're going to be flashing either way, I think you should be saving both.
100%. Yeah,
Right.
So it's probably just a matchup thing where, like we said, Chris is usually on like a Nasus. So that purple instruction of, oh, well, I'm going to use this anyways, I'm not fighting here regardless, let me just save all units that I can at the first chance, since they're attacking the tentacle first to force anything in case you're trying to save the Jinx.
Yeah, right. And the double hold here will get the win.
Yes, it will. So it's on Jinx to do some shenanigans here. Doesn't look like we have much, though, but we can always figure something out. But we do believe that's a hidden blade over there at Zon Warrens. So Jinx tries to get the discard from there. I think that's going to be real tough for the game plan.
I think it's either a hidden blade, but we have also seen the yellow cannon, and the yellow cannon would kind of stuff this Jinx if we're able to stun it. That would be pretty backbreaking, I think, and probably be the end of the game. So you kind of run into a situation where I don't know that you necessarily want to make him have it, but you might want to use a removal spell first on this first mate to get the flip and then go in, which I think is what's going to happen here. We do see the Ruthless Strike in the hand, so debating on if we should play it, but if I was in the position of Jinx here, I think you have to use the Ruthless Strike. If it's a hidden blade, it is what it is. If it's a cannon, it flips up. I mean, it's still 3 might, but you're going to go in with the Jinx, who has been recently buffed up by your equipment, and you're going to get in there and get that Zon Warren's trigger anyway. But I don't think you can run face first into this yellow cannon and get stunned without some pretty major consequences. But I just think that the chance of it being a yellow cannon means you can't move in there first and then use the removal spell. I think you have to use the removal spell before you go in. Otherwise, you can get stunned, which I think is the determination here. And it was the Hidden Blade. Okay, so it wasn't the cannon.
Yep, so then Miyuki's going to draw 2 instead of this Jinx. And then when we conquer here, we're going to discard most likely this Traveling Merchant that's in hand from what we're seeing. Draw a new one, ready this Jinx, move it back. Nope. We're going to pitch the Hopeful.
Yeah.
Drew a Lunar Boom, so now we can move this Jinx back, pitch the Traveling Merchant anyways, and draw 2 more cards, ready to Jinx again, and then we can potentially fight this Ruin Runner, because we do have the punch first difference. The ready will give us the buff difference, and then all it will come down to is whether or not Miyuki has an extra piece of interaction.
I did see that one of the cards Miyuki picked up there was Public Execution from his Hidden Blade. So that one is going to be...
That's turn speed. I don't believe it's an action.
Yeah, I was taking a peek. You're right. It is turn speed. So it'll be very nice in helping retake, but it looks like we are going to force the issue here on this Rune Runner. And we do have...
Tap 3.
Yeah.
And we're in a tactical retreat. So... this Rune Runner is going to get saved. It's basically Yellow's Zanya's.
Okay.
So rather than the Rune Runner dying in combat, it just gains, if I would die, just recall me instead.
Yes. And it does look like we are going to hide a card here. I have to assume that that's a Tide Turner.
Honestly, I'm not sure what Jinx's run, but seeing the more unit-heavy hand that Chris has had, I wouldn't be surprised. This could also just be a random switcheroo that's within the deck since we are running Tentacles, and that's been a little combo people have been adjusting to. So we'll see, but I think we're going to do what you stated. Chris should do last turn, where we're going to buff ourselves, do some type of removal first to see what that hidden spell is. So here's the Public Execution. We're going to see what the hidden card is first. So if it is that Tide Turner, we just walk in. If it's not the Tide Turner, then the spell just goes into the trash.
Which, this Ambessa, quite big. We will see the Tide Turner. I do think
believe that will be game. Yep. Tide Turner is not big enough to fight Ruin Runner and Empowered Ambessa. Not sure if his Marauder was empowered, but that'll get a +1 to go over as well. And with only 1 Ruin out of the Jinx, there's not much that you can do there anyways. So we're going to go to game 2. Jinx will have the option to go first or last, and we'll see who goes from there. But seeing as you're Chris, what do you think purple and red could bring in to fight an Ambessa? You know, something that's really taking away your units in the back line and on the battlefields.
I think the really hard thing for these purple decks going into Ambessa is your gusts don't work very well at all. And then if you manage to deal with the Ambessa, which I think is an incredibly difficult task to begin with, you then have to deal with the Rune Runners, right? And both of those things in combination, I think, make this probably any type of purple flavor's worst matchup. I mean, the difficult part, too, is like your normal red removal is not going to work either on this Ambessa.
Doran's Rings.
Yeah, as we get a little bit of a peek at the deck here, I do like the Kung Fu Poro. And it is interesting to see it getting played here as a Vendetta card in Jinx, giving it some more discard outlets, because you can discard to empower, which can ready the Jinx.
Yeah, so, I was going to say it has nice synergy with the purple Jinx.
Yeah, right. And I mean, getting these flow cards from Vendetta too, I mean, it's real nice. It doesn't feel as bad to pitch any of these spells that you're either flowing back or recurring with a fizz to these discard effects. I mean, the Traveling Merchant's drawing you a card when it's doing it. I mean, the Poro is becoming a 2-drop, 3-might unit, which, I mean, can contest. I think the issue that this Jinx is going to run into.
Ooh, looks like Miyuki is going to switch his champion.
Ooh.
And I think that is the right call. You know, you're going second, which means Chris is going to be on battlefields before you, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they're playing tentacles or anything. They're actually hard casting their 2-drops. And Yellow Mbessa does allow you to just freely take those. And since Chris hasn't really been hitting my base anyways, ready Mbessa, move it back, protect it, keep it flowing. Feels pretty nice.
Yeah, right. And I think one of the big things about this yellow Mbessa that makes it so powerful is it really makes you have to question if you're willing to put this Jinx at any battlefield when this Mbessa can come down, and if it's empowered, it just kills your Jinx, right? And so when you have these decks that focus so much primarily around a single unit, like we're talking Aurelia, Jinx, these like protect the president decks, I do think that yellow Mbissa is a very good champion to switch into because you provide this inevitability of like, oh, my yellow Mbessa is sitting in my base and I haven't empowered it. Maybe I will, but you have to think about it while you're doing everything, because if I do choose to empower it and you left something at a battlefield, you have to be ready for that thing to just immediately get popped, right? And so the threat of just leaving it in your base, I think, is so much stronger than using the ability almost. And when you know that your opponent's going to struggle to remove your pieces, I mean, I do think that the perk of the other Mbessa is that it is just much more difficult for the other deck to remove. But I think it's going to be in your deck anyway. It basically functions as another copy of Rune Runner. And so I think that when you have these threats that are difficult to be dealt with, you don't mind switching. But we do see the Punching Poro here to start off.
Kung Fu Poro.
Dude, the Kung Fu Poro, I love that his chest is a little heart too.
I believe all Poros have a heart on their chests, or it might just be the bigger ones who actually can like fulfill a shape on their chest other than like a little
Is it like their
ball.
version of a beard? Like if you can grow your heart or not?
Maybe. Or
Ooh.
it's probably like, you know how penguins have different fur markings and stuff like
Yes.
that, depending on their breed. Maybe it's like that too. Like certain areas have hearts, other ones have either a different color or a different shape.
We will get the Conquer here on, what is that? That is the temple. Yes, that is our temple here. We will have the temple and the tomb for our second match here. Interested to see if we will empower this Punching Poro. It would require the Kale to empower itself before being able to contest the Punching Poro.
But that's what Kale is doing anyways.
Yeah.
So I think this turn shouldn't be how do I make a better a stronger Poro.
Yeah.
It should just be how do I progress my board. Because like since you already took this battlefield, there's not many ways for you to ready it again without the execution. So you basically threw this Poro under the bus at this point.
And I think that we're actually just going to see the swap. We are valuing the discard for our Jinx later in the game when we play her. I mean, next turn we are threatening to play Jinx and then immediately ready her with the Poro. So I don't think that that's the wrong call. You are sacrificing a Tide Turner, which is a piece that could save your Jinx later in the game. But it is kind of maintaining our ability to ready Jinx. But we do see the Kale come in to conquer.
Yeah, but as Jinx without much fighting power, I'm curious to see what was in plan. I do see a ride to win, so maybe it's not all for naught, but we do just let the Tide Turner go. So I'm kind of interested to see what this turn 2 play was supposed to be from Chris, because you didn't, you took a point, but you lost a unit. You didn't really play anything in this action. Or the showdown, so it's kind of like you're just trying to go point for point trade against a bigger unit regardless.
Yeah.
So maybe we could have played up from the deep, get a little tentacle action, add more to our board, so that way when this KO does take a board, if it's not empowered, now you have more might to fight it and force a punch first early.
I do think that one thing I like about Chris's play here, though, is that you can almost make the Kale player feel like, I don't need to put anything else on the board. Now, Kale is going to, but if they did just sink resources into the Kale to try to empower it early, and you did have the removal spell, and you're not able to gum up the board like this, it does feel pretty powerful. Now, unfortunately, that isn't what happened. And
Yeah, but that's where matchup knowledge comes in. And
Yeah.
Bessa is not looking to do anything other than gum up the board.
yeah,
So you know Mbessa is going to have bigger units than you. You know Mbessa is going to have more units than you. So you're not really looking to just throw units away carelessly, unless you're trying to do ride the wind shenanigans and take point tempo early, so that way you can stall out for a bit. Because even if this KO was empowered, you're more than likely going to see a 2-drop from it.
yeah.
And even if there is no 2-drop, well, we can just empower the Mbessa or disempower the Mbessa and move it back.
Yeah, right. And I think that the issue that these purple decks run into that we've talked about before is that being really light on units is always going to be a very difficult task when you're playing into specifically orange-yellow, because their ability to spit out these, like, I don't want to say like low cost, but they're like middle costed, those 3-4 power, or those 3-4 costed units that have that might of like 3 or 4 as well, are like pretty easy to deal with individually, but when Mbessa brings like 3 or 4 or 5
Yeah, it gets that
onto the
platoon
board,
moving.
yeah, right. I mean, that's when you start thinking to yourself, like, dang, maybe I should have played blue so I can drop like an unchecked power, but like that doesn't deal with the Mbessa either. I mean, in this case it would, because we've swapped, but I mean, it does look like we are considering Ride the Wind on our Poro, which I don't think would be terrible. But it does set you back a rune, which makes your Jinx turn next turn less
You set you
explosive.
back a rune, you're still losing a unit. Like, this is where maybe using that other turn to start progressing would have been better, or using Ride the Wind to save Tide Turner when the Mbessa only had 1 unit.
Yeah.
So that way you could still score an extra point, which is what Ride the Wind is for, on your opponent's turn. Save your unit in the process, and then you're holding for another point. So you're technically taking a 2-point swing, saving your unit, and then you're able to progress. Versus now we're kind of just throwing units away, which is how Mbessa takes over.
I will say, though, we did manage to save the Poro in the interim. I fear it won't be very long.
Yeah, it's not going to be very long. Because we do have an irresistible fate, folks, so that Poro wasn't destined for long,
Yeah.
let's be honest. But then you still have an unempowered Kale, which could have been empowered instead of the Rampage. So there was plenty of options that could have went here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that 2 roads diverged in a wood there, and we chose both of the bad options.
Yeah.
And I think, we talked about it at the beginning. This is a long-term player at the locals who's playing a new deck, and I think that going into Miyuki, who has had a very strong couple of weeks here with this Mbessa, I mean, it's going to be a tall task. I mean, Jinx isn't exactly at the top of the meta either. Did get those supportive cards from Vendetta, but I mean, the backbone of First Mate and Kale and every single removal spell that you could possibly play, and then also, I hope you didn't want to keep anything in your hand because we're playing sabotages.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be real tough. I mean, I think that realistically, anything that's playing into orange-yellow that is really hyper-dependent on a single unit is an uphill battle from the start, because there's so much removal, and you're playing so many units, right? The irresistible Fey Folk is going to mess you up.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a single unit. It's when you're playing small units and a plethora that makes it hard for orange-yellow makes it hard for you to fight into orange-yellow, because orange is a bunch of bigger units, like you said earlier, and yellow removes small units.
Yeah.
So when you're a Jinx playing a bunch of 2 and 3 might units, 1 might units, you're not really going to be able to do too much unless you gunk up the board and just start point-for-point trading.
It does look like Kesmart 90 said that we didn't pay the power for Ride the Wind last turn.
Uh-oh. Well, we can't rewind a whole turn now, so unfortunately we'll just have to continue from here, but we'll keep that in mind. Thank you for that.
Yeah, well, I think, Yeah, I think the best thing we can do is say something to the players after.
There's nothing to really do.
Yeah.
Just try to pick it up next time if we see it early. But that's something that's generally more of a player than a commentator's job to do.
Yeah.
Because this is also low OPL, so if they miss a ruin, they miss a ruin. We don't have judges on standby at the table to keep track of those things.
That is true.
So if we can catch it, we can say something, but I don't think it's entirely our duty to change anything if we don't really need to.
That is understandable. We do see the removal spell come out of the Fizz, which is pretty nice. We did have an Into the Deep hit the bin there, but I still think we're going to run into issues with this Kale.
Yeah, because this is where this Kale starts to make waves.
Yeah.
Starts empowering, gets that deflect.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that is nice about this Kale is that you can use her ability any number of times.
Mm-hmm.
So she is not limited to only if she's disempowered due to her text.
Mm-hmm.
So this Kale is going to be real strong in that later ends of the game when you just want to go Mbessa's disempowered. Tap 3, empower the Kale, disempower Mbessa. If you can somehow ready her, empower Kale again, which empowers the Mbessa, and then you can start swinging multiple times.
Yeah, right. The ability to just turn on your legend whenever you'd like to for 3 runes is very strong, as we will see the Kale readied. I assume that she's just going to back out after getting her point.
Yeah. Probably empower again, like I said, to just empower the Mbessa for the next turn.
As it does look like we are getting another empowered token.
Set 4, you need like 22 tentacles, 33 empowers. Like, you need every token you can imagine.
As we do get the...
And so then we move the Kale back to base, keep it protected from any red-based removals. We're already bigger than a falling star, and knowing that there's only 2 red runes, first of all, and then second, that you are a purple deck alongside red, there's no like stupefies or stuff like that to combo with it. So I think we're feeling pretty good as Mbessa here. It's really on the Jinx to try to make use of the resources we have.
As it looks like we will go for the Conqueror and the Temple here. We will pay the 1 to draw a card.
So let me see. Pendulum Blade, I believe, says deals 2 damage when you move to a battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see this in the Jinx build.
I think it's the idea that you stick it on the Jinx and then you just mobily move the Jinx around, and every time you move to a battlefield, you're picking off small things.
It gives me +2.
Oh, so it gives you plus. Yeah, so I guess it's Hui at home.
Yep. it's red version of Hui.
Make your own Hui.
So it makes sense now that it's give me +2. Works very well with the purple Jinx. So I like where that's headed. I was kind of interested to see if we went the Endless Riches, I believe is what it's called. The red gear that mills you or burns you 7, and then you can cast cards from your trash.
Mm-hmm. It does look like in response to the 3rd Empower, we are going to try to Star-Cross the Kale. I believe the targets are Fizz and Kale, but... Any responses from you? Yep, it will be the Fizz.
Yeah, before the Deflect 3 gets activated, let's answer this Kale, why don't we?
Yeah, right. I mean, at this point, you've watched 9 runes go into the Kale, right? So make them spend another 3. I mean, that would have been 9, or I guess 9
12.
total has spent just in the Empower cost. There is an additional 3 coming
3 for
down.
the cast.
But I mean, if you're Mayuki, you look how thick your hand is here. I mean, there's 3 cards in the purple-red hand. Part of the power of that Kale is that you don't have to put anything else on the board while you're spending all your runes to empower it. They have to have an answer. Mm-hmm. And if they do have an answer, well, that's fine. You have a handful of other cards.
Ready to Sunhawk, move into Sunken, take that 6 point. And I believe this is where it gets real hard for Chris to try to take these fields.
Yes.
Like we have 2 open, so you're assuming he has at least 1 punch first, hoping that it's another tactical retreat, so that way you're winning these trades.
Mm-hmm. It does look like the pickup here. I'm waiting to see if I've dodged it a couple times. There's 2
I think there's
fizzes.
another fizz.
Well, there's 2 fizzes, and then there's a spell under that. It's a traveling merchant, I think. It's either a traveling merchant or a treasure hunter. So, not a fantastic place to be in. But I guess you do have the Jinx. So, you could play your Jinx, and then your traveling merchant attack is a trigger for the Jinx, which is like a good way to get started. But I mean, okay, so we're not investing in the Jinx, which I also don't think is terrible. Just looking to get our discard draw. I mean, we do have a handful of small units.
Treasure hunter.
Yeah.
Is with that. Yeah, it looks like we're trying to go for a more fizz route. We picked up an existential dread.
Punch first.
So I think this is where you would have played the fizz Starcross first.
Yeah.
And then you move traveling merchant into the battlefield that is free. So that way you guarantee that you A, get a point, B, safely protect your unit. Because now you're just going to Starcross fizz into this Sunbird when Ambessa can already ready her units. And then I'm going to hold to 7, ready to 8, win the game.
Does look like Fizz is out. We have passed focus, perhaps, on the Fizz.
I think we're deciding on what we're targeting for fizz first. We don't have 2 ruins up for Starcross. I'm confused on this up from the deep play because if Miyuki holds here, he wins the game. And I'm not seeing, outside of another fizz, anything else for you to interact with here. Otherwise, I would have just used double fizz to take both units off the battlefield if this is what you're looking to do.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily... yeah, I do think it is going to be the double Fizz.
Well, he can only play 1 fizz now.
Yeah, no, I just mean, like, I do think he has to play both Fizzes now because, like you said, he has to remove one of these battlefields. Maybe it's just the philosophy of, like, I need this board to be as full as possible.
But if Miyuki holds both battlefields, he just wins the game. So if you don't do anything to interact here,
Yeah.
the game's over.
No, yeah, I know.
And if you only take fizz 1 battlefield, Miyuki is just gonna ready a random unit and take it back. So like you had to answer both battlefields on this turn if you wanted to survive. So like he should have just done double Starcross in the beginning.
Oh, it's a Ride the Wind.
Well, we're not fighting this pit rookie because it's already a 7 might. And then I'm not sure about this turn because Miyuki is just gonna play a Kale, empower the Kale, ready the Kale,
And attack.
you.
Yeah.
Like you had to get rid of both battlefields because one Miyuki can't hold to 7. And this is wrong too. You're just giving. Yeah, so this is just going to go in Miyuki's favor. This is an Abessa 1 game.
It does look like we are scooping it up.
Yeah, because I think we realized finally that nothing else mattered after what we just did, and he's just going to ready a unit regardless and take a free battlefield. So, yeah, we definitely had to double Starcross there, take Miyuki off of both battlefields, because even if he holds 1, he has the means to take the other by empowering Kale to what it needs to be, probably using another punch first and then just going over your smaller units.
Yeah.
Especially if all he needs to do is get over 6. That's a double empowered Kale, push you to 7, win the game.
I do think, like, truth be told, though, Chris was in a tough spot either way. I mean, playing the Fizz into double Starcrossed, I mean, you're recycling 4 runes there. It is, like, a pretty devastating blow to your economy. And I think that against an Ambessa who has all those runes, who's just going to play a Kale anyway and start empowering it, like, I think that the mistakes that we made that turn did lose us the game that turn. But I think that just given what we saw, like, open information-wise on the boards, I don't think really mattered, if that makes sense. Like, I think the inevitability of what we saw from the Ambessa, like, there wasn't really a clear answer to Kale, right? Especially once you've used both fizzes, both Starcross are on the bottom.
Well, this is where Purple Pilots, this is where something Chris will probably get better with and time if he continues playing the color. That's where the tempo mechanic of the game comes in because, like you said, it's going to take 4 ruins, but if you're only taking one battlefield and I have means to fight whatever you play down on your turn, that's just how you have to progress through the game in order to continue taking points because eventually I have to get to 8 points.
Yeah.
Right? It did so happen to be the fact that Ambessa took a whole lot of points early, gunked up the board early, and you weren't really able to do much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always about that mid to late game and how do I get to that 8th point now versus how do I get to it later if you are behind.
Yeah, and I think we will be following Chris as he continues to play this Jinx deck, or if he moves back onto the Nasus. I'll be excited to see him at the locals either way. If you are in the area and you want to come play Riftbound, Wednesdays at 6:30, we have our Nexus Nights. Everyone who comes gets a Nexus Night pack. It's a great time. Riftbound is definitely a game that is easier to get into now, I think, rather than later. I think new set just dropped, Metas and Chaos. You can show up
our
and
first
play something.
RQ this weekend. We have our Energy series as well in Milwaukee on Saturday. So, whole lot of action for you coming this week.
I am going to check in. Are we taking a small break before round 2? Okay, we will be taking a small break before round 2. I believe that the time on the round will be done around 7:30. So the goal will be to be back online around 7:30, 7:45 to get you guys into our second. Huh? No, I said 7:30, 7:35. Did I say 45?
45 is a little excessive.
I said 35.
You said 45.
35, 35. We'll be back. Enjoy the elevator music. We were told to look
Hi,
like
guys.
we like each other. So,
Welcome back to potentially round 2.
round 2? You think the Mel player's done yet?
Actually, we're not waiting on Mel. We're waiting on a Kennen versus Rengar, I think, and a Kennen versus Pike.
Yeah, those Kennen players, they got to read you the dissertation that is their turn while they look for the Nocturne that's in the bottom 5 cards of their
Yeah.
their library.
The Kennen Pike just started round 3, or game 3, basically. They're like 4 turns in, so that one should end up pretty quick.
They're in time, right?
Yeah, everybody knows their time. And then the Kennen versus Rengar. I don't know if it's Rengar. I saw ruins for Rengar, so I'm saying Rengar. But Kennen versus Rengar one might take a little longer because they are towards the end of their game 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, those last couple of turns, longer thinking processes and whatnot.
But this is our time right now where we don't have anything to talk about. So if you're in the chat, you're one of our viewers currently, and you have an idea of something that you would like us to talk about, or you would like to ask us a question, we will do our best to interact with you while we don't have a game to talk about.
Yeah, well,
We'll see if they're still around after our beautiful serenading of the NRG theme song. Yes.
well, I'm real excited for Milwaukee. If there's something we need to talk about, I'm trying to decide on what I want to play, whether I go for a guaranteed or a best of slot. So that's really a tough one to pick. There's a lot of cool choices. I really want to use Karox, but my main deck doesn't use Karox, so
Dude, I
it's
think
tough.
I think you should just leave up Azir and send it.
Azir?
Dude, you're
And lose to Angler Beast?
the unkillable Demon King, bro.
And lose to Angler Beast? I'm good.
That's-
No, Azir's pretty strong right
What
now.
about Aurora?
actually.
What if you didn't like playing Riftbound?
I mean, I really want to play Aurora. I just never acquired Auroras because at the time in Origins, I didn't pick them up. They were like $90, and then I didn't play anything Aurora related in set 2.
Mm-hmm.
Set 3, I was just ye in and ye out, so there was no need for Auroras. I was also very heavy against Elder Dragon in set 3, so I didn't want to play Auroras.
What does an Aurora go for?
It's like 60, 70 right now. It dropped.
They're like 40.
Not bad. I might be playing some Jace Aurora, you know, do
Mhm.
some turn 2 shenanigans. But the Aurora decks in this game never really felt the need for me to play. I kind of just been one-tricking Yi, so I never really looked towards anything else.
We need actual Aurora.
Aurora would be pretty cool. I actually never played a game with actual Aurora, so I'm not sure
She's
what
pretty
she
fun.
does.
She's like, her Q is like a projectile, but it has like a hit, and if they hit you, she can like pull it back, and it does more damage.
Okay.
It goes through minions,
So
and then
kind of like Nars Q.
yeah, except she has the ability to like timing. She can pull it back when she wants.
Nar can do it too.
With the boomerang?
Yeah. You can press Q and pull it back.
I guess I haven't played a ton of Nar, but yeah,
Yeah,
Aurora
Nar
like
was fire when he first came out. I was enjoying turning into a big monster and just gah.
I like playing against Nar when I'm playing Silas and you steal the ult and you're like E in alt Q E lock someone up. They just don't get to
No,
move.
not fun times. I've had that happen plenty of times. Like, there's been games where I've prolonged taking my ult in lane because I didn't want that to happen.
Well, but Silas can steal your ult whether or not you have your ult.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then that was my strategy until it still happens to me, and
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I'm losing too many games doing this.
The best thing is when you play like Malphite because you're trying to blind pick a top laner and they counterpick Silas into you and then they hit level 6 first and they ult you before you have your ult with your ult. It's pretty messed up. Did you know that Silas is the best counter pick in League of Legends? Like, statistically, if you have a Malphite on your team and the enemy team has a Silas, you will lose that game 60% of the time. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter what role the Silas is in, whether it's jungle, mid lane, top lane, he's playing as a support for some reason. If there is
Yeah.
a Silas on the enemy team and you have a Malphite on your team, it is not going to go well for you.
Yeah, Jungle Silas, like when Viego and Silas came out, as a player who's been playing since season 1, almost beta, I believe. 'Cause I think I started playing early 2000s,
got that silver
late
Cal?
2008s. No, that account is permabanned, actually.
You're minting that on the stream. What'd you do to get your account permanent?
I have like 64, 65 permaband accounts.
Bro, why are you admitting this on the stream? How do you get banned that much?
I'm back from like the referral days, dude. I have over 300 accounts if I really wanted to count them all up, so I can play a while. But
that is an
a lot of my
League of Legends.
A lot of my accounts got banned because I was a toxic player back then as a middle school kid. I was definitely
Dude, I've had one account my entire time. I've been playing for like 5 years.
yeah. Well, somebody didn't want to get that Twitch skin bad enough, so.
The honor Twitch skin.
No, the referral system. You got there was a Warwick skin, I think, at 50 referrals, and a Twitch skin at 100 referrals.
No, yeah. They took those skins though, and they turned them into the honor. So like if you
I didn't know that
if you have a
one.
high enough honor in the game, you get the skins, which it sounds like you're not going to get those on those.
Actually, no. As Teddy Panda, I'm very honorable. Okay.
Okay.
I get honored threes and whatnot, but when I was Jose Jalapenos, I was spicy.
Look it up, guys. If you're in the drop the op.gg,
I was
let's see it.
spicy. Kiss My Anthea, I was spicy. Like, I think the Kiss My Anthea one, or was it Jose Jalapenos? One of those ones I was trying to be the #1 brand in gold at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I threw a game thinking like my teammates were doing one thing, ulted the wrong person, and like completely tilted myself and got banned because I just wasn't in the right mindset. Everybody reported me for not being in the right mindset. Like, I was making wrong plays.
Hate to see it.
But you live and you learn, right? Now there's no longer a permaban system. You just wait like an hour.
No, you can still get permad.
Still? Oh, well, hasn't happened. So I like the new system.
Just reformed, yeah.
I'm reformed, exactly. I'm reworked, you know? Like League of Legends, I'm reworked. Take me to my classic days, it's over.
The classic is out though.
Right, but I'm not classic B.
That's true. I feel like our chat may be dead. We didn't get any suggestions from the chat.
No. K-Smart, you still there? We'll pay for our ride the wins this time.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
So it sounds like we're going to start round 2 pretty soon.
I did hear a very loud yell in the background, which is usually a sign that the round is starting.
Right. Yeah,
Louis got the voice.
He's got that voice for sure. You starting? Yeah, there we go.
All right, so I'm hoping we can get an Ezreal mirror.
No, we're not going to get Ezreal. We only have one Ezreal player at this locals.
Well, I heard there's
Yeah, I was going to say, we only have one Ezreal at locals.
Ezreal versus Mel. That'll be a quick matchup.
That'll be a long matchup. That's a long matchup. Especially with the two players, if that's who we have, yeah, that's going to be a long matchup. They think, they plunder.
See, I'll just call time. I'll be like, we'll call time on this. You know, you've had enough time to think. Think you're playing for the round. You know, like let's make a game action. I appreciate your willingness to look at your cards, but the same cards you've had in your hand for the last 3 minutes while you've looked at them.
Yeah,
I have
that's
no
slow play at that point if it's 3 minutes.
Yeah, I have no shame calling judges for slow play. I think that is the most abused thing that people do is they just take a really long time, and then it's like you get to the end, you're like, oh, well, we're at turns.
Well, as a Lantern control player who timed his rounds or his turns, I would have to say I don't really know the mannerism behind slow play. As far as I know, as long as I take 25 to 30 seconds a turn, I'm good.
As it does look like we are here, Azir versus Ezreal. This Ezreal deck, people are a big fan of it at the store. I actually was out there, and 3 or 4 people told me that playing against this Ezreal deck is their favorite experience. They really like coming to locals and playing a lot of Riftbound.
I bet they do.
And so I'm excited to see it today.
You know, we have our 2 XOs from last week facing each other, so this would be a grand standoff.
Is this a rematch from last week? Oh,
No.
Oh, it is.
I don't believe they faced each other last week. Because if I remember right, they both faced that Jax player.
You might be right.
And we saw Ezreal versus Pike.
Well, let's see what happens. Do you get to keep your board and make Emperor's Divide, or does the Ezreal player say no? and we get the concession. Although I will say that I think Azir has enough power to, like, well, I think the issue Azir's going to run into is, like, all the Sand Soldiers just get double bellow breath, and then you're going to be real sad.
Yeah. Well, the fortunate part about Azir is most of his gear does give +1 might. So it's going to take at least 2 cards for some of these to get hit, but majority of them that aren't equipped will get that double bellow's breath repeated, kind of removed off the board.
Well, the Watcher is a great card against Azir, let me tell you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Watchers are pretty good against any go-wide strategy when you're playing Bellow's Breath. But the one thing Azir will have to watch out for in this matchup is Ezreal's do play hard bargain. So rather than facing the normal Defy decks that you're going to run into, you actually have to think about, can I play this Arise? Is he tapped out? So we might see longer turns because of that, just to see how much value we can get.
As it does look like we get our second Sand Soldier out here. We probably will go to Conquer with our first. See where we are. We going to the Hall of Legends, which Caps will be readily inducted into here with the Tristana skin. For those of you who didn't know, they leaked that on the PBE.
Oh, there we go.
If you're a big fan of G2, Caps has been running that region as like the only good team for like 5 years now. NA is still better than EU. I'm willing to put that out there, but we will conquer the Hall of Legends only
to get gusted. That's
which
tough.
Feels bad against a token because it just disappears.
Yeah, because now we have to think, like, do we defy this gust now so that way we can start point tempo, or no? We'll just use an on guard.
Yeah,
turn to a 5.
And I mean, it's probably not your favorite thing to do, but realizing that you're playing against an Ezreal, you need to get these points early. Because your hope is to get to like 6 or 7 before you get fully locked down, and then hope you can snag that last point somewhere.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you for the hand motion over there. The production team has reminded us.
So yeah, the Azir is really just going to try to get as wide and as heavy on points as it can before this Ezreal starts setting up, because you really want to force them in a position to tap out, use as much resources as they can early, so that way when you drop this Arise, they don't have that hard bargain. They don't have all of these extra removal pieces for you to get rid of the board you just created.
I am intrigued here because we opted to put down the Pack of Wonders and pick up the Spirit.
Yep, just so it can't get charmed.
But we did opt to not play, we didn't hold up the hard bargain, which I think is interesting because we did just watch the Defy
Well,
get
what are
banned.
you holding hard bargain for right now? They're not arising with 2 gear.
I don't know what I would hold it for. I guess as a blue player at heart from Magic, the idea of discarding a counterspell makes me sad.
I mean, well, in this game, you can't counter units in gear like you can in Magic, so hard bargain only being a niche counter Arise
I guess
trick,
that's true.
and they're
Yeah.
not arising on 2 gear, there's no need to hold it up.
And it does look like the soldiers will continue to come as we are going to do our best to work our way through, but we have successfully gotten to 3 points, and Ezreal being on the back foot, we're really trying to focus on emptying the hand. There's only 1 card left. I think we are just going to, okay, we've decided, look, we are going to get everything out of the hand. We have 4 Sand Soldiers to deal with, 2 gears, and we're hoping the Arise doesn't come off the top deck for the slam. But is that good enough, or do you think these Sand Soldiers can get across the finish line?
I think we won't know until the next couple of turns, because looking at Ace Attorney's hand right now, there's not much that he can do about the Sand Soldiers. I think there is another Gust in hand, so if there is a moment of opportunity, we're probably going to use it so that way we can start getting some point tempo back. But currently, yeah, you're just looking to hit the hand, because I think if he doesn't drop an Arise here from the Azir, then you're able to hold up that hard bargain moving forward and just answer anything from the top deck.
And it does look like the top deck here, we're laying out our runes. Once again, rune game.
Top deck was the Hand of Hammer, I believe it's called. The new gear from Unleashed. While it's at another battlefield with another unit, it gets +2.
What
Otherwise,
is the
it's just +1.
Demacian? Is that a Demacian body rune?
I would
The one
assume
that's
so.
tapped right
Yeah,
there?
I would
That one
assume
looks
so.
awesome. I'm a fan.
Yeah, those are from Spirit Forge, I believe.
Once again, big fan of the rune game here at Nerd Rage Locals. The Azir, we're picking up our units. Looking to
Runes,
conquer.
Legends, and Champs. Flash it all out.
Yeah, I will say the Ezreal looking mighty dapper. Azir could use some work, I'm sure. Is there an overnumber Azir?
Yep.
Yeah, so we could upgrade. But, I mean, once we take the dub at the locals, we get that store credit built up to get our overnumber Azir, bling it out from
We
Milwaukee.
don't get store credit for our locals. We get packs.
Oh.
So, and unless you somehow buy yourself Spirit Forge, you'll get Vendetta packs after tonight.
Interesting. I didn't know you guys gave out like packs as prizes.
Yep, pack per
instead of-
win.
Oh, see, from the Magic world, it's always been store credit.
Yeah, because people learn not to pull packs in Magic. So
That's because Magic has collector boosters, and they don't give those out as prizes.
not at all. But you can pull everything and anything out of your regular old Riftbound packs.
That's true. That's why.
Minus Proving Grounds, but you know.
Yeah, you can pull flashes out of Proving Grounds.
Yeah, but Proving Grounds doesn't come out of packs.
That's true.
So let's see how
You know what
Ezreal
comes out of
handles
packs
the
in this game, though?
onslaught. Runes, legends, units, gears.
I was gonna
spells,
say
tokens.
this sprite comes out of this pack quite often in this game, the Pack of Wonders. Although the Ezreal opponents might not describe this pack as wonderful, I would say, as it does look like we are going to use the pack. We're going to pick up our friend and we're going to play it.
Is this a main board pickpocket?
I mean, listen.
No way.
I mean, I would be tilted. Look at the Azir player. He's shaking his head.
Yeah,
I would be tilted.
Like, who plays main board pickpocket? That's insane tech to be playing right now because it's
I mean,
also very good into
One
cannons.
of, though, right? Like, one of isn't bad.
Probably a one or two of. Like,
Yeah.
Who?
I
Main
mean-
board, I see it as a one of, and then if there is
Yeah.
an extra copy, it would come out the side. So
I mean, if you think about it, what else you're like the spells you don't really want to play, especially if you're already running the pack. Like the pickpocket at worst is just something that you discard to some type of effect. But like, I mean, yeah, I guess you discard it to like the Ezreal if you really don't need it in the matchup. But like, it's pretty good as a one of if you're in a matchup where it matters and you're just recycling it. I mean, we do see the Azir at 7, so like there is a chance. But I still have faith in this Ezreal, man. I've watched this Ezreal take the whole.
well, we just top decked the Watcher, so
That's awful, dude. I'm so sad
yep.
for him.
And then the Frozen Fortress gonna kill the
Yeah.
Sand Soldier because it already has 1 damage marked to it.
I'd be so tilted right now.
So
Do we-
everything, for the most part, will be put back to a 1. The BF sword is going to just counter that out. So it's still a 2-might Sand Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Something easy for this Watcher to walk into. You still have the hard bargain up in case there's any shenanigans from the opponent.
Gosh, that's awful. The
The good old
lock,
blue
yeah.
magic, though, you know. I think in Magic, you're looking for counter spells. In Riftbound, you're looking for a Watcher because, boy, does it come down good.
All right, so if you are in the chat right now, put a prediction on who you think wins this matchup from here. I have faith in the Ezreal, especially with the main board pickpocket. Like a Rise doesn't even get you out of it.
Well, the Azir has no hand, no board, so I'm pretty sure the Ezreal wins from here.
Yeah.
You have to score both battlefields. Azir's not known for doing that in the same turn off of 1 card.
Dude, that's so messed
A
up.
Rise could do it, but you still got to fight over a Watcher. So
The one turn that he needed to not
just not have it.
hit the Watcher. Oh my gosh, that is like disgusting. And then
And you know the Ezreal's, smirking too, like, oh, I
Yeah.
top decked this, bro.
Yeah.
You didn't have it at all.
I guess that's the best part is the Azir is like, in your mind, you're like, oh, well, he had it. But you didn't know that he needed to have it right there, and he drew it.
Well, I think the Azir knew he needed to have it. He just didn't know he didn't have it.
Yeah, that's true.
And
well, I
that's
mean,
where-
and there was an opportunity for the Ezreal to dig pretty aggressively by just recycling the Ezreal over and over again with the pack to
That
draw.
is true. And we did start with 2 stack decks, so
Yeah.
it's like to the Zero player, it's who knows if he did or did not have it, unless he just played it straight from the top, slam it from the top ropes.
I
So
like that
now-
we're just shuffling our runes here. I mean, when you don't have a hand, you
yeah, I
might
was
as
gonna
well
say,
shuffle something.
as a TCG player, what do you shuffle without a hand?
The ADHD is, oh, there's the bellows breath. Let's just lock it right up. You're never getting units. All right.
Yeah, I think it's kind of been locked up the moment that Watcher came down.
So where do you think the scoop phase happens? Do you think we're letting him score all 8 points? Or do you think we're scooping it up?
I think most Riftbounders give that one turn draw just to see what they could have done. I think with this Deadly Flourish, and then after we remove the Sand Soldier, Azir's going to start scooping pretty soon.
See, my low-key toxic trait is that I would make the Ezreal win, because the Ezreal deck will take you to time. So,
yeah, but when you're a higher level player and you can win that game too, you're not really trying to take away time from yourself winning these next games, because say you give Ezreal too much time in this game 1 and you don't even finish your game 2, the Ezreal just outright wins and you don't have that game 3.
That's true.
So I think it's more so just give your Ezreal one turn to play with themselves, see what they do, maybe get a little more information for game 2, see what you top deck, and then just ship it for the next game. GG next. Like here, I would have been scooped, take some more time back rather than off the clock.
Yeah.
So that way, if it does come down to a grind like this again, you have the time to force your Ezreal to win it out, right? In that game 3 if you win game 2. Versus using it all in game 1 and then now game 2, game 3, you're forcing yourself in positions that you wouldn't normally be in if you had the time.
And yeah, this has to feel terrible as the Azir player to just get main board pickpocket looped over and over and over again.
Yeah. Like, we've seen it. It's not happy.
Although, great meta call.
But like you said, all opponents are really happy to face this Ezreal, huh? He just seems to have everything he needs to stop what you're doing.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's pretty rough. I mean, we're going to recycle the stack deck. Yeah, just pick up another Bella's Breath, or maybe Stupefy.
No, I think you just pick up a Stupefy, draw cards, right? Like, it's like, what are you Bella's Breathing here?
Well, I will say that if he gets to the bottom of his deck, he does give the win to Azir. He has at 7.
That is true.
So he can't draw his whole deck.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen, but
At this point, I think drawing 1 to 2 cards every other turn is pretty much what the game plan is, right? Like,
oh, we have an Arise. We're going to get some soldiers.
and then at least one soldier's going up top.
Oh, hard bargain. Dang, that's a...
Just force him to use the extra energy. You're not doing much else with it anyways.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, he's going to pay. It's his only spell, so...
Yeah, because then also using the hard bargain here stops your opponent from playing the Azir, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I think we're at exactly 11 ruins, which is the 5 that you need for accelerated Azir and the 6 that you need with the Rise.
That's frustrating.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
This Ezreal just loves to push those buttons.
Is this the scoop step?
This is the scoop step. Like, because you're going to try to just fight as much as you can because you're only making 2 thanks to the pickpocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not even taking that bottom battlefield. You can take the top battlefield, draw an extra card, but the Ezreal has the answers, right? Like, he just revealed a Starcross. He can pack up Wonders the Fizz. So I would have scooped, start going into game 2, give yourself a little bit more time. But they have been playing pretty quick, so it might just be one of those you don't want to scoop too early in case you do give the Ezreal too much time.
I mean, I also understand not wanting to scoop at 7. Like, you're so close. I mean, it is unfortunate because this Ezreal's just going to load one battlefield and make it so you can never take that battlefield.
Well, it's just if
Also, I
now
believe,
that you have
isn't
the Arise
Ezreal-
play,
I believe have we missed any conquer / hold points for this Ezreal?
no.
No, he's just only held it for 3 turns.
He conquered it once, and I believe held it twice.
Okay.
Like that, and that's what I was saying the other weeks. Like Ezreal doesn't look to take points early. It's a long grind, likes to chew the time. So if you give them too much in game one, you give yourself too less in games 2 and 3. And the more time you give them off of game one is the more time you give them in games 2 or 3. So it is kind of tricky to know when you want to scoop. But when you get to that point of no cards in hand, you're top decking in the first deck or the second card isn't what you need to get yourself back into the game.
Okay.
That's usually when you just chop it up and go next.
I mean, that's not terrible. We did go in there. We killed both Fizzes and the Ezreal, which is a lot of utility gone. I mean, it's unfortunate that the Watcher got to stick around, but, like, as far like you're not losing this game to Ezreal quickly. And you did just remove
never do.
3. Yeah, but you did just remove 3. Oh my gosh, he's got a turn to dust in his hand too. Oh my gosh. The amount of main deck gear hate's crazy.
In this meta, it makes sense between the seals and the last rights out of Kennen, all the gear out of Azir, even Irelia. Even though we haven't seen too much here at this local, Irelia is still pretty prevalent in the meta. All those are gear decks. Ornn's coming back. Jax is trying to make a new run for its money, so Draven even has gear, so it makes sense why there's so much gear hate within this what seems like infinitely removal deck.
Treasure Trove picks up his second deadly, or another deadly flourish here.
Yeah, so
Living rich over here on the side of Israel.
that's what you do as a dungeon diver, right? Find all those
list.
treasures and golds.
I have a feeling that will be naming a Sharima.
Yep. You know, I don't think there's a reason to name Demacia for Vi. You're definitely not minus tuning a Scuttle.
No.
I wonder what is Scuttle's like actual tags.
I'm not sure.
That would be an interesting one to know.
We're going to get our production team to look it up real quick for those wondering. But if you are in the chat, welcome to, if you could share a fun fact with us. As we're persistent. You know what? I admire this as your player. He says you're going to win the game. I'm going to make you win the game.
Yeah,
if
they're two friends, so it is one of those like friendly rivalries. I'm going to force you to play the game out. I'm not just going to give you free wins.
It's a bilge water. Okay.
Makes sense. I can see that.
I guess it's like, is it an aquatic? I guess it's crab, right? So it's like, it has to be aquatic.
It lives in the river, bro.
Okay, but the river's not actually deep in...
It doesn't have to be deep to be aquatic. It just has to be an aquatic animal. Live with water. It's probably a hybrid.
Hybrid?
Yeah, lives in land and water.
Okay.
Like a spider crab.
We got to get some, like, what is it called? We got to get the Jeopardy music for the Ezreal matchups.
So we can put our viewers to sleep.
No,
rather than talk to them and excite them about the match.
That's true. We have, like, very soothing voices, I feel, you know? Like, we're just like, oh, and I think that was the straw that broke the Rune Runner's back there, as the scoop does come from the Azir.
So now we'll go to game 2. Game 2 is really where the Azir is going to find the pieces that it needs for this. You probably get a little bit more units that you can play. If you're playing Wind Wall, you might be able to bring that in. Really interested to see what this Azir brings for this type of matchup.
If I'm the Azir, I'm like, dude, you don't even need to side. You seem to be packing all of your gear hate main board. So, like...
But if that's what you're seeing main, imagine what you're seeing out the side. Because like, you still don't see acceptable losses. They're probably bringing in a couple of more go-wide answers. Maybe a down well for you. That would be pretty back-breaking.
I'm kind of surprised. Is Mind Splitter just too slow for Ezreal?
There's no need to Mind Splitter when you're looping spirits all day long.
I guess the spirit is just cheaper.
And then Mind Splitter is also in the same energy slot as Watcher. And Ezreal would rather just throw a Watcher down than a Mind Splitter.
Tiny, yeah.
Mind Splitter is more for decks that are looking to fight you might-based and remove something. When you're a removal deck like Ezreal, Watcher's better because now you can do combos with Bellows Breath, combos with your battlefields, combos with your Deadly Flourishes. You can take back battlefields because it's an accelerated unit. So when you're...
Oh, look at the sideboard of wonders there. An unchecked power, and I think 2 more pieces of Gear Hate come in.
Yeah.
We're going to look probably for 3 more cuts as we go back in.
Yeah, we'll probably look for like 2 Vexes. Cut down on some more redundant removal that we don't need. Like maybe throw out a list or 2. Probably drop a...
Well, I would keep the list in because the list is like really good when you're depending almost entirely on Sand Soldiers. Like Shurima's just so powerful when every single one of their units is going to be of the same nationality, I believe is the...
But what... the list isn't putting in the same work as it is against other decks because the units are so small. Like,
I guess that's
you're
true.
really only
Yeah.
looking to list BF sorted equips. Otherwise, a Stupefy plus Bellow Breath does
Are we
the
cutting
same
a
thing.
Fizz?
Probably don't need it, honestly, if you're running 3 of them.
See, I think you have
Because,
to
like-
keep in Gus because Gus are just straight removal spell against this deck, right?
Oh, 100%. And especially with the interaction of Eye of Herald, Gus completely shuts that down. So yeah, you probably just cut down on numbers of 3-ofs that you run. Like a Fizz would probably be a nice cut because you're not looking to play the same exact spells over and over again, but you are looking to have access to them. You could probably take out a Treasure Trove since you are going second. So now you're playing a Spirit on your first turn anyways. So there's probably a couple of numbers that he's cutting down on rather than just removing specific options.
It would be interesting. I think Ezra would probably struggle into Master Yi, right? Just because I feel like Charm is so backbreaking.
Yes and no. Like, it really just depends on how the Yi sets up. Like, if you're drawing a very spell-based hand, yes, it's a very struggle for you in Ezreal, but if you're finding unit after unit, it makes it a lot easier, especially with the addition of the Green Akali, who can't be targeted outside of combat. And the Ruin Runner is also a nice piece. So when you have those 2 pieces main board and you're bringing in extra Ruin Runner sideboard, it makes it a lot easier. Rain Guard definitely helps out because of the ambush. It gives you reaction. So if you're going to have a unit die in response to like a Bellows Breath, you just play a Rain Guard there. And it's like, cool, well, you wasted your turn on my Lonely Poro and my Morning Witness, Morphle Witness. I'll just play this Rain Guard here. Now you have to answer that. Or you used all of your Watcher Bellows Breath turn on this. Cool, I'll just fight you with the Rain Guard.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a little difficult, but we will see the Azir on the play here as he does play a Gear.
And gets his unit.
Quickly met with the pickpocket. Exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, and as you see from the Azir, again? Turn 2, again? He was like, at least let me get my Azir tabs.
Oh. Judge call. So Teddy Panda is...
So my opponents, most of their sideboard is in there. You took out cards and I shuffled them back in. Okay, so you are able to play like this. Okay, the minimum. Do you want to play like this?
I believe the current situation is that the Azir player has shuffled their entire sideboard into the deck. Is that what's happened? The Azir player has his entire sideboard in the deck?
Not his entire sideboard, but the Azir player does have majority of their sideboard in their deck. And luckily for us, this is a low OPL, so it is a minimum of 40 within the rules. We don't have to change anything. They're just going to play as is. But if this was Energy Series on Saturday during our showdown, at a high OPL, it is exactly 40 cards, including your champion, and 39 in your main deck.
Okay, so that would be a game loss if we were in a
Correct.
more competitive event. I mean, right now you're just going to be dealing with a more diluted deck as the Azir player, and probably some cards that are going to be dead in the matchup.
Yep.
And
So
you had a pretty good start, pickpocket come down, so you have to just be thrilled as the Azir
Right?
player. But at least you have a caveat. You didn't lose because the Ezreal beat you. You lost because you shuffled your majority of your sideboard in.
But you could say that Ezreal beat you down so bad in that game one, you just didn't know how to play the game anymore. So
That's true. That's true. He literally broke your fundamental understanding of Riftbound rules.
And so, yep, just like the Yi, and I was saying earlier, this Akali is going to be really strong. Because even though this Akali is contesting this battlefield, it is not in a combat showdown, which is the only time Akali can be targeted. It is a non-combat showdown. So
Yeah.
even though I'm taking this, you still can't interact with me with, like, say, a Stupefied Gust,
Yeah.
right? Which is usually the most common way to interact with 4-might units attacking.
Yeah, I'm just kind of baffled by the majority of the sideboard in. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, that's why we were laughing. We're like, yeah, fortunately enough, this is low OPL, so we don't have to do anything, and we can just play as is. But I was like, I'm glad this isn't high OPL, because I do not want to have to get anybody game loss just because of something like that.
But good on the players recognizing that they needed a judge to figure the situation out, called one, figured out the proper solution. We'd rather that than the players decide to make their own choices without being unsure. Someone leaves with maybe like the feeling something happened they didn't appreciate or didn't think it was supposed to work that way. Always better to call a judge in the situations where you need one.
And happening between friends, this would be something to always bring up. Like,
Exactly.
remember you did this yesterday or a couple days down the road. Hey, man, don't shuffle your sideboard in.
The Watcher comes down, which means that Ezreal will get in there and bye-bye Akali. And that has to be your worst nightmare. You got 2 points. It was not 7 this time when the Watcher came down. It was 2.
But
So-
at least you know the Watcher is down now.
Well, there's
so
more
that's
than one, right?
Always. In a deck like this, you always assume there's more than one. But it's not always about how many copies they have. It's about how many copies you have knowledge about and need to answer. And as of right now, that's only one with the potential of another. So really, you just focus on what's in front of you in a matchup like this rather than what's coming up. Because if you try to prepare for what's coming up and you just get spirited out the game, it doesn't do much.
This fly is tilting me. There's a fly in the stream room that just keeps landing on me. I'm very tilted.
Well, why don't you 1v1 it, bro?
Dude, because I'm not trying to clap and destroy the stream by going bang. But you know what is getting destroyed? Those battlefields as Azir goes to conquer up to 4. If only there was like a unit that was like moderately costed that like came down and made all of those soldiers really tiny, and then there was like a Forge God that killed all of them at the same time. That'd be pretty brutal, right?
Sounds like a very specific card combo you got there.
Well, I'm looking at least 2 of them in this. You don't even need to bounce the Watcher if you're just willing to pay into it.
No. And one combo, I mean, I know it's an extra piece to it, but now Bellows Watcher can also Temporal Breach Watcher Bellows. So that way, even though you played this Watcher early, you can replay it and do the same turn again.
It's the Pack of Wonders.
Yep, and just like we saw last week, we have the threat of packing this Watcher and reusing it, so that way we can get another
Is there
acceleration
something that
out of it.
reduced the cost of the pack?
I am yes, the Orange Forge, I believe, is when you control it, your first non-token gear costs 1 less.
I see.
Usually we see that from the Azir, so that way they can play generically free gears, get those equipments into some Cheerios. But coming from the Ezreal, the list, pack, treasure trove, all of those can really use that too.
As we are going to slowly work our way through this hand, and once the Pack of Wonders came down, you're going to watch this hand disappear, and then you're going to watch every gear on the board disappear.
Yeah, I think we're thinking about, do we stack this battlefield or do we pack back the Watcher and protect it from the next turn?
And I think if you're Ezreal here, I don't even know about this because you open it up to just like, let me throw a Sand Soldier in here and just kill your pickpocket, right?
No, because if they're going to throw that Sand Soldier in there, you're more worried about them bringing in a Vi Or this play is a whole lot better too. Dropping the Arise with the shields down, getting as much value as you can now. Two of them will come readied, so you can start swinging into this battlefield because now you have 2 brutalizers to make 15 might total, I believe. Because it's 3 from brute, 3 from brute, 3 from sword. That's 9. 6 from the soldiers themselves. Yeah, so you have 15 might to swing into this 9. And the shields are down from Ezreal, so you know anything you want to do this turn is getting through.
Yeah, which is pretty nice.
So then we're just going to double equip here, do a full trade, or just trade with the Watcher, overtake here, so that way we're not losing as many units as possible.
Go up to 6.
Yep. And then now we're really threatening the Ezreal to, 1, not only answer the battlefields, but 2, has to answer a potential Arise, because the Arise can always give you the 2 units to score if they're empty.
A Gust as the pickup is nice. Give ourselves another removal spell.
Yep, so that's one of the pieces to the puzzle. If that's a Vex in hand, that would be another one, just so that way if there is an Arise, you don't have to counter it, since the units will come in stunned.
And that's it's nice because you can clear the battlefield to get the Sprite in, and then you can plant the Vex, which stuns.
Yep.
And then we pick up another Vex, which is...
Oh, it's a Kha'Zix. So
I see.
we picked up the Vex,
Yeah.
and it looks like we're going to drop the Kha'Zix here to get over this unit. Yep.
Yep.
And just do a full clear of this Azir's battlefield.
And I mean, the second Arise
Here we go.
wins the game, right?
Yep.
Do we have it?
Second Arise wins here.
I've noticed we've set 5 runes.
We can accelerate an Azir here.
We're
So
not.
it looks like we're going to rethink this third Brutalizer play. I know we do. We need to get this Azir out. So I feel like that's probably what we're going to do first. See what resources we have left. Because we not only do we have to get over 6 might of this Kha'Zix, we also have to...
Okay. We get the Kha'Zix out of the way.
Yep.
Which will conquer us to 7. We get another soldier. Azir, the legend, is exhausted. We equip the BF sword.
Yep, make it a little bit taller. Make it harder to shoot down, really. If they have another Watcher, they have another Watcher is basically what he's saying. But you have time to fight a second Watcher over just losing all of your units. And yep, and Ezreal says that's enough. I can't answer this board. You're going to hold. So we'll have a game 3. And now we'll be able to take out all of those sideboard cards, get back to a regular 40-card deck, and
I don't know if
really
we want to take them all out. It seemed to work.
Well, I mean, isn't that what we do in Magic, right? Sometimes you sideboard a little extra against discard decks just to make sure you have...
Well, usually against mill decks.
Oh, Really? Mill decks?
Yeah, because discard decks doesn't really matter how many cards are in
Well,
your deck.
as an Enchantress player, Mill's afraid of me. So I don't know that problem.
I think Mill likes playing against you because you draw half your deck for them, and then they just play like one Tasha.
Solitary confinement, can't target me, shuts off your entire deck.
I think most of the
Leyline of Sanctity.
I think most of the
Turn
good
0.
Mill spells don't target these days.
Thoughtseize targets, Inquisition targets. So Enchantress is pretty good against it. I'll let you know firsthand. But back to the game. We have game 3 of Ezreal Azir. Game 3, fresh sideboards taken out.
Oh no, I was just letting you go. You got this.
I mean, there's not much to talk about
Yeah,
quite yet.
that's
I'm just
true,
letting them
that's
shuffle up, kind of get ready, see what they draw.
I will say that was pretty great for Azir to win through a turn 1 pickpocket.
Oh, yeah. Not only turn 1 pickpocket, extra cards in the deck, too. So that means you were less likely to see the things you needed to make that happen.
I mean, the only thing that really made that happen was playing Azir, though. right? Like, you just had the accelerated Azir.
I mean, he still had to see the Arise, which with a bigger deck, you wouldn't see as many or in
That's
that
true.
timely fashion. The Azir is always going to be there. You know, that's in your champ zone, so you can't really say him having the Azir is what changed the math because he always had it.
Well, I think that is the powerful thing, is just having an accelerated unit always available to you in a matchup that lets you get really close to winning, but then tries to stop you. Like, having an accelerate unit out of your like champ zone's very, very powerful. As it does look like the Deadly Flourish. Get our gold token. Goodbye, Sand Soldier.
Yep, no +2 on my turn. And we'll just drop that turn to Ash. Let's see the hand now. And there's that Angler Beast, primed and ready.
It does look like the Turn to Dust will be the card stripped for now.
Yeah, Ezra doesn't hold often, so you know they're not getting that back.
Oh, the Sprite pickup was brutal. That is, we'll see if it comes down. I would
Of
play.
course, it's coming down.
I mean,
There's
at least
not
they
much
know what
else
you
to play
drew.
right now.
Boom. An on guard.
Yep, and then we're just going to pick up a couple more cards.
We get the Ezreal down. We drew 2, discarding the Angler Beast.
Spicy. I don't know. Angler Beast is why you bring it into this matchup because of the wide spread of 2s.
Yeah.
So let's see how effectively this Ezreal removes these units, because that's really what you need it for.
I have to imagine if you're getting rid of it, there's another plan in place.
Let's see. It looks like we might try like a Stupefy Gust on the Ash. Drop a Deadly Flourish onto the Sand Soldier in the back.
I mean, but do you really want to put the Ash back in the hand so that
You don't care because you're going to put 2 units onto a battlefield, force your Azir to have for you to take off of 1, and if he replays the Ash, you just get 2 cards back right away.
That's true. That's true.
So, like, I think you put this Ash back into hand. You're not really afraid of taking a battlefield and holding. You have all the supports you need to really make that happen.
And we do have the Pack of Wonders in the hand, which is going to make continuing to attack the hand of Azir much easier. But there is a Defy and an Arise in the hand of Azir. So 2 good cards that I would consider very good to be have in the back pocket currently.
Yep, so we're going to start with a Stupefy on the Ash. Put it from 5 to 4 because of the War Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it looks like we might try to do something.
The Flourish.
Deadly Flourish.
Pop
hit the backline
Yep.
unit.
Get our gold token. Ooh.
Nope. Hit the Defy. We're going to draw first.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the list. That's going to be huge. Because now we can just play the list. Hit the Ash. Walk over with Ezreal.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to see. I guess you're not that worried about losing the Ezreal. He's kind of gotten his value already.
Nope, we're just going to Bell's Breath the Sand Soldier in the back.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you move the Ash off of this battlefield, that sets you up for a Fizz Bellows Breath.
Okay.
And then you just Pack of Wonders the list, targeting Ash, killing it.
That makes sense.
And then now you have an open battlefield to conquer. But, you know, per Ezreal, we don't take free points.
Yeah. No.
We
Well,
take the grinded ones.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be taking
You
free
know.
points if the opponent could resolve an uncountered Arise, because then you're going to lose your units.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you give them the possibility of going to 3 this turn. But, like, why risk your units when you want to recycle both of them? One for card advantage, one for stripping your opponent's cards. Like, okay, they'll go to 3. You don't really care. As long as they don't get the 8th point, you'll win the game. We saw it happen game
Yeah.
1.
You know, I'll grind you out. Force you to use every last card. And we do have the Arise in hand, so see if we can get that down before Spirit starts ripping us apart.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the dangerous part about leaving it in your hand right now is that as we get closer and closer to this critical mass of runes, you open yourself up to play Pack of Wonders, bounce it back, play it again, play a pack, play it again, right? Like, you really always have to think about the fact that you could lose multiple cards in a turn. And every turn you don't play it, you're increasing your odds of getting a bigger rise, but you're also increasing the chance that you don't get to play it, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a fine line to walk here.
And I think we chose not to play it because there is that Bell's Breath in the trash, and we don't want to set up, like you said, a non-valued Arise if we can add more to it.
The Fizz looks like it will actually grab the Deadly Flourish, perhaps?
Can't. Deadly Flourish is a 4.
Oh, you're correct. Yes.
No, we're going to Bellows Breath here, and then we're just going to pack the list, you know. Since you moved it off the battlefield, that was stopping me, but also you had to move it off the battlefield. Yep.
So now the name is Demacia on the list again.
Yep. Or Ash.
That's true.
Yeah, I do believe they have their names as just regular tags. And then now I think this is where you start putting that 2-turn draw phase clock on yourself as an Azir. If there's not much for you to do in 2 turns, start thinking about what outs you have. And if you can't find those outs, then just might be a scoop phase. But this is game 3, so
Yeah,
I think this is just where you force your opponent to play it out. It's a 1-1 scoring, so we'll see how far we can go.
How do ties work, right? Like if they go to time and no one wins.
So if you have to win by 2 in this game, after 3 rounds, so turn player at 0 will be turn 0, or at the end of time would be turn 0, 1, 2, 3, and then if you're up by 2, you win. If no one is up by 2, then it is a draw. Being that both players have won games 1 and game 2 apiece, it'll just be a draw for the round. But Akali is a nice way to get back, seeing as the can't be targeted effect is in play. So unless you let this Ezreal walk into you, that's the moment they can play star crosses and those things.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that the issue that you're going to run into here is the Azir, though, is it like might not feel fantastic, but I think you are getting to the point where like it is optimal to play for the draw. Because I don't think you're going to eke out a win here at 2. But I think that there's a real chance you can get a draw, because I don't think that the Ezreal player is going to win very fast.
No. And one thing the Ezreal player can do is set up a point tempo to where
that's nice. Play the gear.
They either win the game or they do force a draw.
And I mean, that's what you're looking for when you're already so low on cards is, you know, you want that other gear, just get a bigger rise, and then hopefully just load up a battlefield.
And we saw it get played in 2 turns.
Yep.
So we were fortunate enough to get it out the hand. It's not trapped in there anymore. And then even if you get discarded from here on out,
You don't have any cards in your hand?
he's helping now.
I believe he is, yes.
That's his trash he just picked up. So, yeah, so now that there's no cards in hand, you're just off top deck mode. That's another way to kind of protect you from these spirits, right? Is just play everything you can at the moment you can.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like we're going to pick up this Fizz. We're just going to maybe keep gusting. Nope, we're going to Stupefy.
Yep, draw some more cards.
Get these Ezreal triggers. We picked up another pack, it looks like.
Drew 3 cards for this turn so far. And having this unchecked power for this Akali is going to come in clutch.
Yeah, the unchecked power is nasty.
Yeah, like, oh, you're playing cards that can't be targeted? Cool. I don't even have to target you. Pick
Oh.
up, yep. Now we just start looping Ezreal, just get more answers into our hand. I think we pitched the pack here.
Yeah,
Yep.
we have enough.
Yeah, we have 2 on the field now, right?
Stack deck. Just keep digging.
Why not, you know?
The Vexes are not going to make this any easier.
No, but I think he picked up a Kha'Zix there.
I think that was a Kha'Zix. I think he has a Vex in his hand already. I might be wrong. Those cards, like the Alt-Art Vex and the Kha'Zix, look very similar to me because they're just a very dark purple card.
Yep, just a bit. The only way I generally tell the difference between them is if you look at the Kha'Zix, by his head it's a little more darker, where Vex's head is on the other side of the card, and it's a little bit more brighter. So that's generally how I try to go off of the two. Is just, is one dark or is one bright? So I think we're just thinking here, how do we use these brutalizers? How do we take these points? You're looking pretty much at an inevitable game state here. Like, this Akali can sit at base all game long, but that's just what the Ezreal wants you to do.
Yeah.
But as long as we're top decking gear and making these free tokens per turn, you can trade those all day for points.
Yeah, that's true. And it is like, it does kind of feel bad, right? Because you're also just looking at this turn to dust that's like, oh yeah, he can just waltz in there.
Well, he has to, take a battlefield first, which is what you're saving the Akali for, I believe, is she's your battlefield breaker. Because as of right now, even though you are in a standoff, the Ezreal can't take a battlefield because you'll just come in and sweep. You have a hard time taking a battlefield because the Ezreal can just combo you pretty much.
And it is smart because he's making all the fights happen at the other battlefield, right? So he's like, you either get to choose between getting your card back or preventing me from holding.
Well, it doesn't matter at which battlefield you hold from. You just need to hold. I think he just put it under that battlefield just to keep track of whose card is whose, right? Because I think that's the Ezreal's battlefield. So even if he never gets this card back, it's not going accidentally into the Azir's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think you just hold this Akali in the back line, right? Because, like, you're at 5 points.
I think right now he's considering whether or not to accelerate the Azir or just go in. I think he's just going to take that 6th point. I think he's banking on the accelerated Azir.
I was going to say, did we not just play that Soul Sword? So, yeah, so I think this is where you put the Akali in because, like you said, he's banking on the Azir because now, depending on how this Ezreal handles this turn, you can just accelerate the Azir, take one battlefield, take the other battlefield, and just win the game like you did last game.
Kha'Zix comes in. Maybe if you're lucky, he'll play his own unchecked powers.
I don't think he'll do that.
No, I don't think so. But there's always hope.
Oh, but here's this Vex, so that's going to be a crutch into the Azir plan. You have to now get rid of that first. So this Ezreal is going to do as much as you think he can to protect it. Because as long as this Vex is on the battlefield, I think that kind of holds you out, guarantees your return to dust, and starts fighting back.
Hearing some playful cheater allegations.
Yeah, man, pickpocket on turn 1. Definitely cheating.
Listen,
both games.
And I'm not saying that he was cheating, but all I'm saying is there was a judge call on turn 1 that game. It was completely unrelated, but he got turn 1 pickpocketed, and there was a judge call. It was about his deck, but he called the judge real quick after that pickpocket came down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was confused too about pickpocket being in the main deck and was like,
"Oh, dude, we both left our side,
right?"
That'd been funny. Maybe he was like, "Oh, dude, we just have to restart. Oh, it's a shame."
Yo, redos.
But I mean, we're just an Azir player here, hoping that we draw on a rise off the top, go crazy with it.
So yeah.
How much time is left in the round? All right. We do not know how much time is left in the round currently.
I'm gonna guess about 15 minutes.
15 minutes? What do you mean? We
started closer to 8.
I guess that's true. There is an hour in each of these rounds. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
we're now at hour-long rounds. So at the very best, 15. At the very least, probably another 7.
Okay.
Like, I know there's not too much time, but there's enough to where this game could potentially reach a close. This Ezreal kind of does have to rush things now.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, the Vex is gone. Right? Or is the Vex in hand? Did it get packed? Or is it just under the Fizz?
No, because he had them stacked.
I don't know what happened to the Vex. I looked away. That's a tragedy. Pick up the Watcher here, maybe.
Nah, you grab the stack deck.
Yeah, just look at more cards.
Look at more cards.
It's true.
Yeah, where did this Vex go? It's not in trash.
Then it has to be in his hand.
Yeah.
Why would you pick up your own Vex, though? It is in the hand, I think.
Yeah, did he Starcross it by chance? No.
No, because there's no Starcross in the... Maybe it was Starcross.
I think he grabbed him the turn. You know what? If he played a Fizz, it could have been Starcrossed by the Fizz.
Aha, that BF sword is now temporary.
It's just... Yep. He gets destroyed at the next beginning phase.
Doing some quick math. We're going to load up one battlefield here. I think we're going to hold... no, we're just going to full send.
So since we didn't take the Watcher, and if the Azir only fights the Kazakhs, we move all of our units back and play the unchecked powers, that would be hilarious. Because you know the Azir has to go to a field. You know, it's his only accelerated unit outside of
Do
the
you think he
Rise.
didn't... Okay, but, like, hear me out. If you're the Azir and he didn't replay the Vex, like, you know something's up. Right? Like, he's just not going to let you.
Well, he's tapped out, so there's nothing for him to, like, try to get you with right now. Like, everything...
I guess that's true.
All of your knowledge is forehand.
Well, no, but I guess it's like, okay, so you might, like, full send the Azir in to get your 7th point, but, like, you know that he is okay with that because he did tap out, right? So, like, you know something. I mean...
Well, because Azir has no cards in hand.
Yeah.
He can only top deck, and there's only so much he can play that I think he just buffed one battlefield, forces you on another to get use out of
I think we're getting a count.
unchecked powers.
Is that a total of 19 power?
Yep.
At the battlefield?
So
3, 3, 3, 3. So that's 12, 16. Where's the extra power coming from?
Trifarian Warcant gives all your units +1.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
1, 2, 3,
13
4, 5.
plus 5
Yep,
is a
so
total
just
of 18.
Just add 5 to whatever you got.
Or 19, yeah. That is one buff Sand Soldier.
Yep, we're going to take the Kazakhs out.
Get our 7th point. Oh, is the Azir? I don't think he's accelerated it.
He has to.
You have to? Why do you have to?
Because otherwise, I think you lose too much tempo. Because if you give the Ezreal an untap step here, then there's nothing really for you.
But, like, I don't think... Can the Azir get big enough to, like, take this other battlefield?
Well, with the charm, I think so. Because now you're losing 4 might.
Oh.
Your Azir death gripped.
Is that the win? Did he just sneak it?
I think so.
That's messed up. Look at you. You were like, scoop step. Send him to Scoop Step.
No, I said in a couple of turns, if you don't
that's
find
fair,
an
that's fair.
answer, you
That's-
think about Scoop Step, but
Boom.
he found the Akali, which was
I
a
don't, oh,
piece.
he's not even charming. I think he just had.
He charmed the Fizz.
Oh, he charmed the Fizz out. Oh, I see.
Yeah, charm's not always to me. Sometimes it's away from me. So I think we're just doing some checks, making sure we have all of our math correct. So this Azir has +9, +15 with the brutalizers. He's at 19 with exactly right now.
I think that's.
I think that's game.
I think we're gonna lose with the unchecked power. Oh wait, hold on. Turn to dust. Oh, I think he's saying I never got the turn to dust back. I would have won if I had the turn to dust because I could have removed one of your equipment. Dang, that's
That's
a crazy
tough.
win.
Yeah, I was a little confused about the turn of dust not going to hand. I couldn't think if we were on his turn or if it was the Azir's turn somehow. We were just doing everything in interaction steps, right?
I just don't know why you'd star-cross your own Vex there. Because the Vex being back in your hand is what allows that to happen.
Yeah. Well, even if you start cross it, I'm just confused on why you didn't replay it at least.
Well, I guess realistically, though, with a charm, you just charm the Vex off the battlefield, and then it's not stunning anymore, right?
That is true. Yep,
So, yeah,
'cause it
you
won't be at
just
the
get around.
battlefield.
You just
But
charm.
you don't know he has a charm though. So I think
No, but I'm
either
saying,
way
like-
you're out is to play it there,
Yeah.
and then force him to have the charm if he's in top deck mode.
Yeah, I just think that it's one of those things where, like, obviously, like, hindsight is 20/20, but in this case, I don't think it mattered because we had the charm. We would be able to get around the Vex anyway. It's just instead of the Fizz, which we decided to play, we would have charmed the Vex off, which would have been 4 might. Would have
5 might.
Yeah, because of the buff.
Yeah, because of the buff. So it could have mattered a little bit. Definitely changes that turn if he doesn't start cross the Vex. So that's interesting. Yeah, weird, interesting end to that round. So I'm not really sure how to comprehend that quite yet. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch and see where some of those turns went.
I think that was a very good example, though, of like what I said in the beginning, where it's like, you know, you have an accelerated like champion, and so I don't think it's ever worth scooping to the Ezreal because you just have the ability, especially with like your tokens, you have a rise with your charms, like you have such a strong ability to steal that last point and like make him play it out, right? Like he got there, he had the lock for like a good couple of turns, and it took like just drawing the charm off the top. You move the guy out. He loaded the battlefield because he knew what was going to happen. He was like playing it, and like unfortunately, your opponent drew the one out that they needed, right? And now it could have been other cards as well. Like I think a Rise would have done the same thing there, but actually I don't know.
Don't know because that's
There's what
more
four? Is there
energy
3
that
or
you're
4
using.
equipment out?
There's
Right.
4.
So I think maybe.
You had 2 brutal, 3 because he did turn to dust one of the.
I think the
equipments.
Arise gets him to the same situation next turn because he gets to chew through a lot of the units. But I think like because you have such explosive draws, and you have a like unit that can just come out with haste or accelerated, it's not worth scooping. So I'm glad we saw someone stick it out, play through the brutal game with his brutalizers.
Yeah, and it's game 3 too.
Yeah,
So
right.
like because it's game 3, I don't think you really scooped there. I also forgot it was game 3 for a moment.
Yeah.
In my mind, I don't know. Maybe that game 2 with the whole sideboard thing made me think it was like a random game 1 all of a sudden, and we just tracked it back. But in a game 3, of course, I don't think you ever scoop. It's game 3. Why not just force your opponent to play it out? Because you could put yourselves in a drawing situation.
Yeah.
And if you won that game 2, lost the game 1, I would rather draw than lose.
For sure. I think we are going to take a small break before round 3, probably like 5 to 10 minutes. And we will see you guys back here for round 3 of the NRG Nexus night.
All right.
Welcome back, high energy Riftbound here as we torpedo our way in to round 3, starting at 9:07. They have an hour. We'll hopefully be out of here by 10:30. We got
Ooh, we have an
Ivan versus Kennen. So it's gonna be a fun time. Is that the promo Ivan from Gen Con? I can't tell.
No.
No,
That
but we
just
do
looks
have
like
old,
base Ivern Legend with the AA green Ivern.
Hey, we love the old god
So-
Ivern skins. The old god skins are great in Riftbound here. As we're both shuffling up here, are you ready to watch this Kennen player look at the top 15 cards of their deck in the first 2 turns?
I'm just trying to see how many nightmares come out.
Nightmares.
You know, Nocturne.
Ooh, you right.
See if Ivern and friends can handle the onslaught.
I meant to ask you. You got fancy runes for Yi?
No, I play basic runes. I don't care. I would rather razzle dazzle you with my Rengar pouncing from the top ropes than have my runes like those, because everybody else likes to have their rune game up.
Oh, so you're not one of the cool kids. You got to like fight the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like the cool kid hater.
I think I'm gonna start using body runes as treasure tokens in Magic.
especially the ones from Vendetta.
Yeah, they look gold. Yeah.
They give me very Destiny-like.
I've never
scenery.
played Destiny.
It was a great game.
Your past tense, is it not?
I don't play it as much. It wasn't one that I grinded quite a bit. It was one that I just played with friends a lot.
I see. I
So-
see. All right, Kennen has. Well, we're going to start with a treasure hunter.
Yeah.
So we're not looking at the top 3 this turn. Next turn, though, we're going crazy. Got to get that gold.
We do have a stack deck though, so next turn it is, because next turn you do get to play Kennen and you get to stack deck. We'll play ourselves a Daring Poro.
What is that? Assault?
Yes,
Okay.
it gets Assault 1. It's
Okay.
the attacking Poro of the group.
We will go to Conquer, get our gold token.
And which battlefield is this one? It looks like. Is that a
Vladimir's lair?
Vilesmaw lair?
Or yeah, Vilemaw's lair.
Interesting.
And
I
then
like
we
that
have
altar.
the Zon. As we will ride the wind, get a second gold token.
Yep, and
Kind
that's
of pay for our loss of rune there.
pays for the loss, and it gets your treasure hunters out of being stuck at Vilesmaw, because then you're going to move this treasure hunter back, get a 3rd gold token. I missed this out of the Draven days when I was playing mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 2 more. Looks like we're going to play another 2-drop, being a Traveling Merchant. So this looks like to be a very strong start from Kennen that we haven't seen over the past couple of weeks. Because like you said, they've just been looking at the top 15 cards.
That's a rough time to draw Defy. That would have been real nice to have about 2 seconds ago. If you can just lock them down at the Vilemaw's lair. Shut down
I don't
the 2
think
extra
Ivern
gold.
generally cares. Like, it still needs to get its runes up.
That's fair.
So putting yourselves at 4, I don't think is really what you want to be doing.
Looks like we're going to back off here.
No, we're pitching to Zonwarns, and then we're
Oh,
going
I
to
see, I see.
Ivern's Legend effect, turning it into a brush.
We love that.
And now our Poro is a 3-might Poro, thanks to its tag.
Mhm.
Helps us fight a little bit into the early game of Kennen. Play a Muser there as well. Looks like we have a
Okay.
interesting new addition to Ivern is the Frost Mother. It's going to be a 3 energy unit that looks like we might be playing it now too. Yep. So there's the Frost Mother, 3 energy unit. It has Empower for 12, but you reduce the Empower's cost per rune that you have.
Okay.
So right now it costs 7 to activate. Next turn it'll cost 5. Very popular addition into the Nasus decks as of late, due to the fact that eventually you'll get to the late game. You'll have those 12 ruins, 10 ruins, pay 2, pays for itself with the Nasus effect, and then you can continue, and you have I believe it gets +6, so you'll have a 9-might unit.
As the Kennen is considering what to do here. I mean, we have quite the plethora of resources. But I think we're going to start by just looting the traveling merchant, perhaps.
Yeah, take it to Val's Mall, but the tricky part about trying to take
see
this
a
brush
rock.
back is that the Muser has tank and shield too,
Yeah.
and then it gets the +1 from the brush. So rather than trying to trade it with the 2 might, you need 4 might to do that, which is really strong because now it trades with Kennen.
Yeah.
So it trades up in stats.
I know there's a Rasa in the hand as well, it looks like. So we might, or it looks like we pitched the Rasa actually to the traveling merchant. So obviously you'd rather that be in the bin. Looks like a Nocturne has also hit the bin. As we play our Kennen out, empower our legend.
Yeah, pay 3 and a gold. Stay pretty healthy on our resources. Something you'll need to do against
That's
green
rough.
decks.
Hit 2 fizzes.
Yeah, you want at least one of those in your hand to give you access to your trash again, especially having that Ride the Wind in there so you can free up some of these units that you put onto Valmall. Because one thing Kennen might start to do is either just start putting chump trades out there, like these treasure hunters and these traveling merchants, or just look to stack early.
Yeah.
And then when you start putting down those nocturnes on there with ganking, that's when you start setting up your tempo.
Should the, I believe the Kennen is at 3. Because he got the double take on the Ride the Wind and then also just conquered with the traveling merchant. So
Correct.
Yeah, yes, he is at 3. But yeah, I do think it's going to be difficult for the retake on this bush. And especially it's kind of brutal to lose the Zon Warrens as a graveyard or trash-centered deck, right? Losing your ability to dump your flow cards and, give yourself more utility out of the yard. But it looks like both battlefields will be turned into brushes this game.
Yeah.
Which, with the strength of battlefields increasing each set, obviously they had the ones that had to get banned in set 1, right?
There's 4 banned
Yeah.
in set 1 right now.
But-
Maybe 5.
Looks like we're about to get the crank.
Oh, my set 1 favorite was Blitzcrank and Yi. Like, that was awesome. You hold
Why don't you play it anymore?
because at 5 in a power, you're looking to play a Rengar instead.
I guess that's true.
So-
Rengar just does it better.
Just does it better. Like, why waste my turn to do it when you can just walk into an 8 might rather than a 5 might?
Yoink.
And
Hold on. Is Kennen reaction speed to give assault?
no, it's action speed.
So he yoinked the Blitzcrank, and it looked like he tapped the Kennen to give it assault. That doesn't work, right?
It does, because Blitzcrank is creating a combat showdown by bringing in the Kennen. So the Kennen will have priority first as the attacker, meaning he gets the first action priority in
I
this.
see.
So using that window is why he used the Kennen.
I see. Will be interesting. The Kennen does hit the bin, though, regardless. He doesn't take anything with him, though? I guess I missed the... Because if he gave it assault, it should have hit for 5, right? Which means...
So the something friends spell for the Ivern deck
I see.
below
Yeah.
gave Blitzcrank +1 per tag of Dog, Cat, Poro, Ivern, and something else, I believe.
see.
So the Blitzcrank was just too mighty.
Lightning Rush here. We're going to look at a stack deck, and...
A traveling
surely
or
you
treasure
take...
hunter?
Yeah, surely you take a stack deck here and just keep going.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part here is the Blitzcrank. Does the Blitzcrank have tank?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Blitzcrank has tank, but it also says when you hold with it, you return it to hand.
Ugh. Yoink.
Yep. You
Just
just
keep
keep
yoinking.
yoinking a turn. One thing I was doing in set 2 with E was playing here to help with Blitzcrank.
Yoink is so funny because you're the defender, right? If you
Yes.
yoink. That's so messed up. So you
Yeah.
have a 7-power Blitzcrank that yoinks.
Yeah, when it's alone. But in Yi, you'll never have a 7 power alone because you have to play it to a battlefield with a unit, so it's never
that's
defending
true.
by itself. But with Star Spring, now you can.
So we see Lightning Rush. That's kind of brutal. Lightning Rush double last rights. And you just take a last rights here, right?
You have to.
Yeah, you don't want to put both on the bottom. But it is unfortunate to see a Lightning Rush and a last rights hit the bottom.
It is, but it's better to put a last rites to the bottom than a Rasa, I think, since you're already putting one into hand.
There is a Rasa in the bin currently.
Yeah, which is why I think we took this last rites, because now we can try to set up a play to where it looks like we have a Starcross, so we can Starcross the Treasure Hunter and the Mauser, play the last rites onto Treasure Hunter, and then conquer for the Rasa. So it looks like we're Lightning Rusher, putting 2 up from the deep, and Seal of Discord into trash.
Okay.
Empowering our cannon. We just put our Rasa into hand.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have 1 in hand, 1 in trash. I think we have more than enough for this to be a free Rasa, because it's 4/4/2.
Yeah, so that's exactly 10 cards. So I think this Rasa comes down.
Yep.
Okay.
Paying with the gold.
And I mean, that strong start has allowed us to keep our runes really high here. I mean, we haven't had to recycle any. I mean, that is the end of our free treasure hunter value, but
One thing this cannon can do, since Blitzcrank... Oh, no, Blitzcrank is a hold effect. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you have to give your opponent the point first, but you could Starcross the Blitzcrank, but you probably just wait for him to replay the Blitzcrank if that's an option, and then do it then. Because depending on what he pulls into that battlefield, say if it's a Rasa, you could potentially take.
take the Blitzcrank, or take the other creature out so that you murk the Blitzcrank.
Right. Or no, you bounce the Blitzcrank.
Ooh. There's a
But
Ride
you
the
at least
Wind in
murk the
there.
Frost Mother.
Do you think you take the Ride the Wind here or the Gust? If you take the Gust, you probably have a better chance of killing this Blitzcrank. Because you can just get in there, right?
Well, I don't think you care too much about the Blitzcrank, because the Blitzcrank will put itself back to hand.
Okay.
I think you take the Gust so that way you can bounce the Muser and then swing into that battlefield, because the Muser's going to defend for 4 thanks to the brush rather than its original 3,
I see.
which is pretty hard for Kennen to get over right now.
That makes sense. And I mean, we do have the... Oh.
Yeah. And then we have the Defy,
What was the play there? To got defied?
Ride the Wind.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just glared. So we did attempt, I assume, to ride the wind our Rasa.
Yeah, he did point at it. We just didn't know where it was going to go. That was a pretty swift Defy there.
Yes. Traveling Merchant, gonna get that discard.
I wonder if Adrian knows that the Muser has tank. Because he might just be trying to trade with the Poro.
He's gonna give us
So yeah, we're going to trade with the tank because we're giving it Assault.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, you have to get through it.
Yep. So that's one way to get around it. You know, you don't want to waste too many resources for it. But this Blitzcrank is about to go to town.
Yeah. I mean, the Blitzcrank it's gonna yank the Rasa, surely, right? Like, you just yank the Rasa, force it to fight, and then get the kill.
I think that just depends on what your hand is, because this Blitzcrank is one form of removal against this cannon, which
Yeah.
is tough to do.
I just don't think you want to yoink the Treasure Hunter, because then it gives him a gold, right? If it moves.
Yeah, but then that's a for sure kill.
I guess that's true.
If you yoink the Treasure Hunter.
But the Kinnon's tapped out right now, right? All of that is technically exhausted, even though he just readjusted it. Yeah, he is going to yoink the Rasa.
Yeah, so it looks like we're just going to trade Rasa for Blitzcrank. Just get him off big units. Yeah, you already see the cannons behind.
Yeah.
You know, there's...
And the Blitz
as we've
does
seen
have
for the
to
past
go
2
here.
weeks, no Nocturnes.
Yeah, right. And, you know, thankfully the Kennan willing to trade last turn means that the Blitzcrank can get the yoink kill here.
Yep.
Because there is no assault available from the Kennan legend to give to the Rasa. And it looks like we're just going to play
A Stalwart Poro.
I do love that Ivern is just a Poro deck.
Well, Brushes having the Poro tag really help it out. Especially now that there's actually good Poros for you to be running alongside some of these units. So I'm just waiting for Braum to see if he really utilizes Poro. Because
The mustache.
one thing in the community we're guessing is that Braum lets you play any colored Poros. So that way you can start playing all the Poros together.
That'd be pretty sick. The Poro deck. Then Kung Fu Poro would go crazy.
Well, with the Unleashed Poros, you can put the full scene together.
Okay. I didn't know there
So-
was a full scene with. Maybe I need to collect the. Are they expensive?
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Oh.
I think minimum 80, pushing to like 200-300
For all of them?
for all of them. No, that's just for a guesstimate of one per. Like for all of them, it's probably a good like 5 to 6.
The Poros?
Yes.
Like that Poro right there on the board is expensive.
In the Unleashed version,
Oh, I didn't-
yes. They're the
I see,
overnumber
I
versions
see.
for the scene.
I didn't realize that the scene got made with overnumbers. I thought like the regular arts made a
No.
scene. Okay.
No, this ain't Pokemon.
What? We love collectible card games over here at Nerd Rage Gaming. And in fact, if you like collectible card games, we play Pokemon here at our lovely shop on Thursday evenings, right?
Mhm.
We play Commander here as well on Thursday.
So, as the Kennen player, you're kind of in a real tough position.
But there's the last rights.
Yeah, because we have to start making a play here. So it looks like we're probably going to be last writing, getting back maybe a Fizz, maybe a Rasa, potentially Kennen itself, just to fill out more of the trash and give you more utilization.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it might. It's Fizz. I
yeah, it
think,
looks
yeah.
like
Well, because Fizz gives you access to Ride the Wind, which is very, very
Ride the
versatile.
Wind,
It looks
Fizz-
like Daisy's in the hand, though. Recycling both stack decks.
So what are these face down cards next to this treasure hunter if that's not from the deck?
I think the two face down
Those the
cards
runes?
are the recycled runes.
Got
Yeah.
it. So take this. We're not going to flip this brush over because we don't need our last rights getting stuck there, but it is also a hold trigger, so that wouldn't be too bad because you are
Yeah.
getting rid of extra might from the iron when you do that.
I think we are going to flip the brush.
We are. But he's supposed to make his targets first.
I'm not sure what's happening between the two of them.
Yeah, we're resolving things out of order, but we're supposed to pick our targets with last rights and then flip. But we picked the Rasa. I'm going to put it into our base because that is a Foulsmaw, so they can't move back to base. But the last right is a hold trigger, so that's going to be nice. Gives you a little extra might on defense as well, because if they do go over this treasure hunter, you can just equip it to the Rasa.
Yeah. It looks like we're actually going to Tide Turner out.
But Tide Turner can't push the unit back because Vilesmaw says the units can't move to base. So Tide Turner would just lock itself into Vilesmaw. So it looks like we're just not going to do the effect, so the Tide Turner doesn't get stuck there.
Yeah, maybe just deciding they want more material on the board for pushing into these Poros on the other side. But
Well, we hold to 6. And
we're going to take a peek through the trash here. I know there's at least one Lightning Rush, right? Or no, the Lightning Rush got
Right.
flowed.
Yeah, one got flowed, one got tucked.
Hold on. Do we have the tentacle tokens? Those face down.
Somebody took my time.
Oh, I have tentacles we can use. I just want.
Oh, is that what they are? 1/1
Yeah.
tentacles?
Yeah. I just want them back. Here you go. Here's 3.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think those are ruins because he would have. Yeah, we're going to get those out the way so we can get tentacles. Thank you, Adrian.
Adrian.
That's his name, isn't it?
Oh,
Adrian?
So we have tentacles out.
I mean, I know I play TCGs, but I think I can read.
You know, you'd think there are some TCG players I know who cannot read.
I mean, I do play off of pictures once I know the cards enough.
That's
so
fair. We're just going to retreat the Poros.
Yeah, keep those Poros safe.
Play our Ivern.
Build up our baseline, because the cannon has to stop you from scoring to 8 next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of just putting yourself in a position to double conquer rather than try to hold in 2 turns.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's smarter.
And we're gonna get an old Poro. So this one's nice. This is the Poro that can't be played on your first, second, or third turn of the game.
Okay.
It can only be played on the 4th turn after.
Okay.
It's 2 energy and 4 might.
Okay. The old Poro.
The old Poro.
He goes crazy. Pretty good draw at this late hour.
Yeah, but that's a lot of might for you to be fighting over. Like, that's
Almost as big as a Rasa.
I was gonna say you're already 2/3 of the way to a Rasa. You're taking out 2 tentacles and a treasure or a tide turner. You full clear a treasure hunter, so like that's a pretty big mighty Poro.
So we're gonna hold the 5 here.
And then I wonder what we're gonna choose for our last rights target. Do you think he just gets another ride to win?
I guess, when does the last rights happen? Like right now when you hold?
As soon as you hold
Okay.
and you get that point, last right triggers. So it's before you channel, draw. It's after the awakening within the B step.
I think, unironically, you might get your Fizz out. I guess, I don't know.
Fizz stack deck, Fizz
Fizz is
ride the
nice.
wing.
I
'cause
mean,
think those are
Nocturne's
your-
also nice because it has ganking.
Yep. There is another Rasa for you to grab. You can start getting the bigger units out now. It looks like it might be Fizz because there is a star cross. So it's
Yeah.
like you go Fizz, ride the
Wait,
wind.
what is happening? So, we're casting a Starcross. Or,
Yeah, and we can be casting a star cross in response to the Fizz. We just don't know if he made the target of the Fizz yet.
so we're targeting... Looks like Old Poro and Treasure Hunter.
Yep.
And then we're going to get the Fizz back. We have to recycle a rune, right? Or do we have,
I
we had
think
the
he
gold?
used the gold from the
Okay.
treasure hunter from the turn prior.
Now we're going to do
Play the Fizz. Yep. Fizz from the last rights.
And then we'll have a rune to recycle. Yep.
Play the Starcross again. Starcross, Fizz, Ivern.
Okay. We got there. Honestly, I might pick up the Tide Turner. Because the Tide Turner allows you to be a little sneaky here. But I think it will end ultimately be the Fizz.
But then the Fizz gives you access to stack deck next turn.
True. It also, there is a Ride the Wind, right?
And that too, yeah. And then it just gives you more access to your next turn play.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would have picked up the Tide Turner as well. Because
All of that before we channel and draw.
Yep. Because then you could play the Fizz to the Vowels Mall, so at least you have that there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can hide the Tide Turner and start moving units around to help you defend a little bit better.
And I mean, throwing a single tentacle in this Vile Maw doesn't even feel that bad. Just get your point.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, I lose a token. Here's 2 more.
You do have to remember that your opponent is at 6 points.
That's true. I guess you do need to defend both battlefields
yeah,
here.
so this one needs to be double defended. You do have a last rights
I guess
that
it's
you
only
can equip and get
6.
another Rasa out your trash.
I think we're just showing them the returned cards. You're not required to do that, but real homie over here showing the 2 cards that were known information.
So we're gonna equip the last rights to the Rasa. I'm assuming to get another Rasa.
Yeah.
But this is where returning that Tide Turner helps out, because like you said, you can move a tentacle to the Vowels Mall. You can move Rasa to the brush on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Tide Turner in hand, you can play the other Rasa to Vowels Mall, and now you can hide Tide Turner to either battlefield, so that way at least one Rasa can make 12.
Yeah.
Right?
does look like we're going to put the Lacerites with Rasa. We're going to flip the brush into the Zon Warrens.
You do not get Zon Warrens triggered, so you don't get that.
Is Lacerites whenever you conquer or hold?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a
I mean, the
double up effect.
I don't even know if we're going to opt to use it here, though.
In the times of Miracle Draven, post ban, I was watching a Draven do Skyfall with Lacerites.
Mhm.
So when you conquered, you got 2 triggers, and when you hold, you got 2 triggers. It was really, really fun to watch.
Draven seems like was like not a fun deck to play against.
Miracle, no. Like any deck that can put out 20 to 25 might in a single turn is not fun to play against.
No, yeah.
But I had fun. You know, I was the
Were you playing the Draven?
I was mid-range Draven instead of Miracle. So rather than trying to put everything out in one turn, I was
We're gonna
taking my time
rune.
to play Darius's and Fear's Forerunners.
What did we recycle the rune for here?
To play the Rasa.
I see. And then we're gonna move the Tide Turner in, reinforce the Rasa with the tentacles. We're gonna play so we floated
Yep.
a rune.
And so, like, this is where that Tide Turner being hidden helps you better defend these battlefields.
Yes, but I mean, I guess the fizz in the hand though makes it so like even if
Well,
the
Fizz in
board,
hand makes it so you can win next turn.
yeah, right, you can ride
So,
the wind with
right.
the fizz and your Rasa,
So,
right?
so there's.
I think it's more of like a checkmate. Although there is a defy, right? So if you can break these boards,
Well, you don't even need to break the boards. All you have to do is just take that top board, because you can only hold to 7. The only way your opponent can get to the other battlefield is ride the wind, because none of them have ganking. And even if you play a Nocturne from the last race, it doesn't enter ready.
yeah.
So,
I guess you could play the Nocturne and then ride the wind with the fizz.
right. Well, I mean, you don't need to play the Nocturne if you're
Daisy!
if you're doing that. You can just play.
You want to explain the Daisy signature spell?
I honestly, I don't even know the Daisy signature spell. I would have to look that one up.
As we pull up the Daisy signature spell.
This is actually my 3rd time watching.
So Daisy says, I enter ready, or she's a signature unit. She's 9 cost, 8 might. I enter ready, reduce my cost by 1 for each of the following tags among your units, bird, cat, dog, and Poro. When I attack, while you have all 4 tags, you get to stun an enemy that is at the location you attack.
Interesting.
But
So he has.
I looked down and the game's over. So what happened?
It was big enough.
Oh, the Daisy was big enough to get the win? Heck yeah. We love seeing Daisy take down the
yeah,
meta
because
deck.
he gets Poro, dog, bird.
It's, yeah, I mean, Daisy is a 9 cost accelerated 8/8.
Yeah.
That's pretty messed up.
And stuns a unit like a Vi. So I think if he had that, and I think he had the Mauser. So yeah, he had all 4 tags.
That's pretty messed up. As it looks like
that
we
was-
are.
Pretty fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, I always am a fan of Kennen losing. Kennen just takes up so much time equity in the match of like, I'm going to watch my. It's also anxiety reducing because you're like, I'm just going to watch them flip 3 cards and look at 3 cards and flip 3 cards and look at 3 cards. And like, it's cool when they're doing the thing, but I think it is almost worse when they're not. You're like, you're just doing this over and over and over again. You're not doing anything.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, to me, if Kennen is just flipping cards, that is the thing to me. Like, I would rather them just look at 3 cards every turn, not play a Nocturne, try to think about how does this Rasa hit the board from trash, than, oh, I've hit 3 cards. Here's a Nocturne.
Sure.
I've did all the Willy Walk stuff, right? So, I don't know. I've been enjoying facing Kennens because it is a deck that plays itself. So, typically, if you can play around a Nocturne, you're beating most Kennens. Whether it's the pilot or it's the deck itself, the deck plays without
Seems
the
very
pilot.
popular though.
Oh, of course. Like, who wouldn't want to play free Rasas and gamble out Nocturnes as best as you can? Like, I think if you look at the last 2 overseas regional, or not regional showdowns, Kennen took up probably a good 6 out of 8, 5 out of 8 decks
I
within
mean,
the
that
top 8
was a
deck list.
40-minute
So,
game one, though. So, like, there's a very real chance we go to time if the Ivern can't get game 2. Like, we started that game at 9.
It's about a half hour, yeah.
Yeah.
About an average match.
I don't know. Have you ever watched the Ezreal matches on stream before? Those are a little, like, the hour 15.
Well, yeah, it's a control deck. Like, these are both... One's a mid-range deck. The other one's
I would say
a gimmick.
Kennen's a gimmick?
Gimmick's 100% a gimmick.
I don't think Kennen's a gimmick.
The,
I think Kennen is very resilient.
You're using 6 cards to try to find 1 card for free while filling your trash for another card to be free. It's very much a gimmick deck.
No,
like,
I don't think it's a gimmick because I think if it didn't have last rights, it would be a gimmick.
If it didn't have Nocturne, it wouldn't be a gimmick.
But
Nocturne is what makes it a gimmick.
But like that's like saying that like playing like Dredge is a gimmick in Magic because it's like, oh well, if you just don't hit Bazaar, it's like
Dredge is a gimmick.
But like it's not like it's not a gimmick if it's a strategy, right? Like there's enough pieces.
The gimmick is that strategy. Like
okay, but like
regardless,
then,
it's a gimmick.
But then like is Yi just the gimmick of like everything gets +2? Is that
yes?
your
Yi
gimmick?
is a gimmick of Smurfs. Like Yi's a Smurf gimmick. I'm playing Yi because newer players don't know how to technically play around combat-based scenarios and knowledge of card pools.
I just think that if you say that, like every deck is a gimmick. Like every deck has a gimmick, but I don't think like
no, every deck has an engine. There's a difference.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but I would say that Kennen's engine is the fact that his signature spell is a different version of Stack Deck, which is made good by the fact that his legend
Kennen's engine is 6 versions of Stack Deck. Yes, but the gimmick is the miracle. That's why it's called Kennen Miracle.
But I don't think Kennen needs the miracle to pop off, right? Because
if it's playing the miracle package, it's a gimmick package, so therefore it's gimmick.
But it's not a gimmick package.
It is a gimmick package. Nocturne is 100% a gimmick package.
No, Nocturne is not a gimmick package. Nocturne, it would be a gimmick if your deck doesn't work.
It would be a gimmick if these Kennens for the past 3 weeks played Nocturnes effectively without the deck just being colluded with it because it's not seeing it off the top of the decks.
Okay,
that's what makes it the gimmick.
But like the other thing we've seen though is that the Kennens like have been pretty resilient without the Nocturnes. Like they've not. It's not like the Kennens just lose. The Kennens.
I didn't say they just lose.
No, but like. But I feel like you're saying like a Kennen does just lose if they don't hit a Nocturne, and I don't think that's true. Like I think the deck has resiliency built in.
So I've never said anything about the deck losing if it doesn't hit a Nocturne. All I said was the Nocturne is the gimmick of the deck.
Yeah, but I just don't think that that's a gimmick. Like you've built your whole deck around it. You're playing battlefields that try to enable it. Like that's what the deck is like. Yeah, but it's not like a gimmick.
So we'll move on to the game.
Okay.
We have Rockfall Path, I believe, for Ivern, and then Treasure Hoard for Kennen. Kennen's going first, drops a Nocturne off of a Stack Deck. So we've hit Nocturne turn 1, folks. Our first Nocturne of the Kennen at Energy Locals on stream. Play ourselves a Loyal Hound, I believe it's called. It's a dog that's ability gives itself +1 might when it's with another unit at its location.
Seems pretty good when you're like a multi-united deck where you're trying to get a ton of different tags functioning.
Yeah, Rek'Sai used to utilize that dog quite a bit, playing roughly 15 1-drops, as we call them in this game.
I think, double seal. Well, why are we only recycling 1 rare if it's double seal?
Because 1 seal is recycled, and then you use the seal for the seal, and then he's going to use the floating energy for the Kennen paid by the other seal.
That's pretty cute.
A lot of shortcutting done in Riftbound.
I mean, that's a pretty nice play out here. I mean, it allows you to really reduce the cost of your hand. When we're looking here, looks to be Nocturne, a Ride the Wind, Starcrossed. Maybe I think it's 2 Ride the Winds, a Starcrossed, and a Nocturne. It's either a Nocturne or a Rasa. I can't quite tell. But you also have the Lightning Rush.
It's a Rasa.
It's a Rasa. Okay.
Yeah, 2 Rather Winds, Starcross, and a Rasa. And then let's try to figure out these Ivern cards because they're probably cards only Ivern plays. I do know this cat.
Yeah.
It creates a bird, I believe, for you with deflect.
Yeah. Notably, there is a Defy as well.
And 1 or 2 back-offs.
Look, it's not even us. The Kennen needs to read it too.
Now, Kenan's going to be reading a whole lot of Ivern cards. It's just one of those decks that you only see select few people play with how niche it is.
How much is an Ivern, the Gen Con one? It's probably pretty sick looking.
So with back off Defy and Hidden Blade within hand, I think we're sitting pretty nice on the Ivern side. Not a lot that can go wrong for you. Not bad. Third seal comes down for Kennen. We are going to be returning hardly any ruins this game.
But that is 3 cards that were not real cards in your hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the whole Kennen strategy is to just look at 3 cards a turn. So
Well, I mean, it's not really a strategy; it's a gimmick.
Nocturne is the gimmick.
Oh,
Looking
I
at
see,
the
I see.
cards was the strategy.
That makes sense. Sorry, I had to get my one back.
Yeah, I know you feel hurt. It's okay.
Listen. I'm not hurt. I just disagree. But for the good of the stream, we'll have to persevere through this disagreement. As it looks like we are going to pay a seal. The Defy will come out here.
Yeah, we can't be letting this Kennen run amok now.
Nah, we got to get to Daisy, bro. Daisy comes down. You ever throw a Leandries on a Daisy? Feels good.
No, I've never played Ivern outside of training module just to understand how Ivern works as a jungler.
Ivern is the best champion in the game to invade with. Because you can just start it, and then you immediately smite it, and you walk away with their buff. It's so funny.
Yeah.
As Ivern is going to
I think we went from 2 Ride the Winds to 2 Starcross. Nope, that's a Gust.
I like the Gust here. I mean, especially with the tank cat that gave us a lot of trouble game 1.
Oh, yeah, Gust is very good into Ivern. A lot of the units are small.
All of our 3-cost units over
Yep.
there. But you know who I want to see who almost put in the work last game but didn't get to make his moment? I want to see the old Poro. Because we're getting to the point where you can play him now.
Oh, hard cast back off, so we will draw a card.
You play back off in Vex, right?
Yes. With the new Heron version, if people are running that, back off being hidden makes free rebukes and switcheroos. So that's a nice little thing people are trying out. We'll push in for, I believe, 5.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 with the +1.
Does look to gust out the smaller fella here.
Yeah, and I wonder if we're going to defy this.
I mean, I would. I mean, shutting down the Kennen's ability to flow is really strong. And I mean, there's a lot of resources on the side of Kennen, but the hand is relatively small, and there's not a fizz to recycle this at the current moment. And taking out Kennen's ability to ride the wind with his ability to flow stuff is, I think, probably the correct play here, even though it does set you back from getting your signature unit. You don't have it in your hand right now, so I wouldn't worry about it, as we do get another Conquer here.
Yep, put the bird up top, really separate the 2 units. Believe we're going to hide this back off. Or we could potentially play a Fallen Feline, which is the meddling mage of this game. So as long as it is at a battlefield, your opponents cannot play the named spell when it is played.
I would just play that and play a Star-Crossed, and then that looks like a Hidden Blade, so I would just play the Feline at your battlefield. I'd put it down, I would name Star-Crossed, and then I would...
Well, they can always just chip it away with Nocturne.
That's true.
They can always bounce it with Gust, so...
I guess what are you naming here then?
I think I play it naming Starcross, but I don't know if I play it to a battlefield quite yet.
I think you just use it as a removal magnet.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Because if you just play it here to a battlefield, I can just Gust it.
Yeah.
Right. So if I play it to base and then hide, say, the back off, I'm still saving that battlefield from an attacking Nocturne without adding extra might, but then I still hold the value of the feline, so that way when I go and attack next turn, I can turn off Starcross on my turn and force you to use your resources for other spells.
So, like, this is a very powerful turn, but I will say that this is where the power of those seals is going to shine, because we're looking at 3 runes to 6 with the seals.
Mm-hmm.
It has +1 from the brush, so it can't get gusted. That is
fair.
That is true. Yeah, you can't gust it. And you are not in blue, so there will be no stupefies.
No stupefies.
Thank you, Dark Chickmonk.
See, maybe I would have lost against this Ivern deck.
Well, I don't
Trying
think
to do too much.
I think if you play the gust, you're required to put it back in your hand because it's an illegal target.
Well, you can't play the gust in general. So, like, if you're gonna reveal it, you would technically have to target something else.
I see.
That is a.
I guess you just mix
reliable
the bird
target.
token at that point and take your spell.
Yeah. Honestly, I think with the +1, none of his units are gustable at this brush, to be honest with you, because the Hound will give you +1 from its ability, since it's a dog, +1 from the brush, putting it to 4. Feline's a 4 from the brush, and the cat should be a 5, if I'm not mistaken, with the brush. So,
I mean, here comes Rasa. And I mean, we did talk about it. This is the classic Kennen problem of, like, you have a lot of small / a couple big dudes, and what do you do when they just muck up the board, like Ambessa? In this case, Ivern. Notably, Ivern's units much cuter than the Ambessa units with, like, the camel and, like, the first mate. Not as visually attractive as the feral feline, which I believe was named on Starcross, but I don't think we ever got confirmation on the name.
well, we can't hear what they name, so we'll just have to assume what it is.
Yes. Does look like 2 power was paid on the seals for Fizz. And we are checking the feral feline.
4 might for that cat. It's a 3 miter. The 4th comes from the bird it makes. That's right. So we're gonna pick Stack Deck. Stack Deck shouldn't be recycled yet. It's the last card that gets recycled off of the Fizz. For those playing Milwaukee, that matters for Kennen decks because of how fast they can travel through the deck.
It's the what?
Stack Deck.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So, look,
There we
it
go.
looks like
See, yep. He knew something was wrong. Because we recycled the 2 off Stack Deck, and then the Fizz, instead of going to
Do
the
you think
trash,
they
we
heard us, or
recycled
do you
it.
think they recognized it?
Oh, no.
I'm just curious.
I
Because
mean, I feel like I've been talking pretty
I know.
low earlier, so I feel like
I'm just trying.
he's generally a more experienced Kennen, so that's something he probably realized.
I guess I was just trying to identify if I'm, like, outing the player's hands by being too loud. We'll be a little quieter, just to be sure. That gave me some, like, deja vu, so I'm like, you just gotta be careful now.
So we pulled another cat that makes a bird.
Another cat.
Let's
love
see
the
if we
cats.
reinforce this battlefield a little more. It looks like we hid the Hidden Blade.
Yeah. And we have another hidden blade in our hand, too, which is a good source of card draw.
So then we hit the back off then.
Oh, no, we hit the back off?
Yeah, he had a back off Hidden Blade
Okay.
as his 2 hidden options.
See if the hunter comes down. I'm not sure what the play here from Ivern is. But I mean, I'm going to safely assume that the Starcrossed was the name here, considering we have it in our hand and we did get a Fizz and we didn't decide to loop it.
Well, I don't think he has a Starcross and is trash to loop.
No, I think he would have played Starcrossed.
He didn't have enough mana. He didn't have enough energy to do both. Like
No, I just think, like, last turn, instead of doing what he did, I think he would have, like, started just bouncing stuff with all of his seals, right? Like, it's basically free. And then you're just tempoing out the Ivern so hard.
yeah.
Especially when the Ivern went down to, like, 3 runes.
But then you still have to worry about defies.
That's true.
So
But I think you've already seen 2
One.
of them. Or no?
Two?
No, I
Two.
think it's there's one in the 2 in the bin. Yeah.
They countered, I believe, a Ride the Wind for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was it 2 Ride the Winds?
Oh.
Yep, just making sure that hidden card is at the battlefield.
We are gonna untap here, and this is where I think it gets a little ugly. Because you have retreated your units, but maybe this is just the come in, play the back off. But, I mean, these 2 Nocturnes can also come over if they want to, since they have ganking.
Yeah. I think you're just leaving the feline there because you have a hidden card, so you just don't want to waste that resource.
That's true. And I guess if there was a thing that was going to eat removal here, it's going to be the feline anyway. Because they don't, obviously, would like to play their...
Right, you're not going to look to move the feline off the battlefield.
It looks like we are going to give the Fizz assault. And we are going to back off the Fizz.
Yep.
Not terrible, but we did expect the feline to die, so now he will die. The brush will get flipped.
We'll go to 4.
Mm-hmm. That does open up our ability to cast this, Starcrossed. And Starcrossed feels pretty good when your Fizz is already tapped, and I feel like that's why we assaulted the Fizz in, because now all of our untapped units are...
Well, you salted the Fizz in to force the hidden card, right? Because you don't want to...
No, yeah, but now your Fizz, like, you don't even feel bad about picking it up.
100%.
Because, like, it already attacked. It's already exhausted.
It got its value. So it looks like we're doing a rushed, or a flow lightning lush.
Yep. And we're going to pick up a last rights, putting a
Ride
treasure
the
hunter.
Wind and treasure hunter into the bid.
Say go.
So sitting pretty 4-3. Let's see how this Ivern overtakes these battlefields. You have 8 might up top, 12 might down low, plethora of runes to defend.
And, like, are you going... I think you definitely go after these Nocturnes over the Rasas.
Yep.
Because the Rasas will just keep coming back.
That and the Nocturnes have ganking. So if you're too small, they can just come right over versus... The Rasas at least have to be Ride the Wind.
Is there a
or
Nocturne
2 turns.
alt signature spell?
There's no Nocturne Legend.
They'll work on that.
Only Legends have signatures.
I see.
So eventually, yes. But as of right now, no.
Looks like Ivern's going to come out here. Yes.
Yeah. We need a big body to eventually start getting down. Go find that Daisy for us.
I will say that we are... Oh, that's a pretty good one to grab. It's our tank cat. We are getting close to the round time.
Yes, we are.
I think I just heard the round time get called by our... So, okay, not that we're there yet, but what is the procedure for going to time in Riftbound?
You just have 3 turns amongst the 2 players, starting
So
with
it's
turn 0.
1, 2, 3?
No, 0, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then if you are up by 2, you win. If no one is up by 2, it's a draw.
Okay. I mean... I think they're trying to figure out if we're in turns currently. But I mean, for Ivern here, if you get this game as a tie, you win the match, right?
There is 14 minutes on the clock.
Oh, there's 14 minutes on the clock? Wow. I thought we started this at 9 on the dot. All right.
Well, we have 14 minutes left of this game to see if there's a game 3. But if we finish game 2 with not enough time to essentially find a deterministic winner of game 3, they don't even start game 3 and it's an automatic draw.
I see.
So normally what would happen if this was a game 3, you would go 0, 1, 2, 3, see who has the most points at the end. If the person with the most points is up by 2, they win. It's a draw. We will still do that in game 2 because if Ivern can never get to a +2 board state, he would win the round.
It doesn't matter if he's at 8. He just has to be at 6 if he's at 4, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And it looks like we are getting a scoop, so that way we can get more time into game 3.
I guess the Ivern is just confident they can get the win in game 3.
Well, I don't think that Ivern could have necessarily got the win there, per se. Because the same way that the Rosas can't move over, the Ivern has a hard time ganking.
Yeah.
And if the Ivern only takes that top battlefield,
I agree
it's
with
4
you.
to 4.
I'm just saying that I think the Ivern decided that instead of trying to play for a draw or like get a position where like he wins because there's a draw and they can't play game 3, the Ivern is confident they can win game 3.
Oh, 100%.
And so they just said, "Scoop, let's go to game 3."
Yeah,
I'll
Ivern
win
goes
you there.
first this game, which is what Ivern kind of wants to control the game. So you get first. You're saving time because now you're giving yourself a game 3 rather than hoping for a game 3 in case you can't get there.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to draw.
No.
So you're just really hoping to see who can finish this last round out. But it would be very exciting to see a 3-0 Ivern. That means we would have a different 3-0 legend every week of our locals so far in the Vendetta meta.
I like the Vendetta meta as like a phrase. It's very satisfying to say.
Yeah, we'll have our Radiance meta not too long, in a couple of months, and then set 6 starts us off in a whole new Riftbound adventure.
Well, let us know if you guys are still in the chat, if you think that Ivern is going to get the win here by going first, or if you think Kennen is going to eke it out by being able to get that aggressive start, or if you think we're going to end up in a draw by going to turns. But I think right now, by my math, we have 12 or 11 minutes now. So this is going to be a quick one.
Yep.
So
and they're both pretty quick decks to get it done.
Yes.
So I think it's just more so Ivern getting to a board state where he holds to a +1 and then conquers to get the +2 and just creates a board state that tells Kennen, well, either you got it or you got it, but at the very least you're going to draw.
See, this is like, I think the match where I would get like frustrated if the Kennen player is like taking too long, because you're already close to the time. You're like, come on, I need to look at the stuff. Like, that's why I do appreciate the fact that the Kennen players at our local meta at least are very like proficient with their spells, because I have played at another store where the Kennen player like is like, I'm gonna look, and then they look, and I'm like, well, you've been looking, and then they put him back, and then they get their thing, and then they cast the next one, and then they look, and I'm like I don't mind if you're gonna play these like decks that look a lot. You just got to be proficient. You got to make the choice, right? Like you can't. Like they ban, for those of you who've played Magic, they banned Sensei's Divining Top for the same reason, right? Like people just kept looking, and it's like that's cool, except it's gonna eat the time.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of newer players joining each set as sets come out, right? Because a lot of people are just kind of waiting for their legends to come out. So,
Well, it's also like the game has finally reached affordability, I feel. Like, and it has been affordable relatively for a minute, but I think a lot of people saw those set 1 prices and those set 1 like core cards. Like, at least for me, that was a big thing, right? Like, the cost of playing set 1 was really high, especially when runes weren't in anything other than packs. They didn't have, like, rune boxes yet. So, like, runes were super expensive. And then, like, it was just, I think, difficult, especially with, like, Lorcana as well. Like, when you get a new card game, you got everyone who wants to spec on that first set, too. So there's not actually a lot of product getting opened.
well, they had a production
Yeah, they had issues
problem
with,
in the beginning. Like, they just didn't print enough for the demand of the game.
For Lorcana.
For Riftbound.
I know Lorcana had the same issue.
Yeah, I don't know about Lorcana. I didn't play Lorcanas, but for Riftbound, we just had a production shortage because the game was just too popular. But as soon as Set 2 came out, like the game was very affordable.
As we will see the Poro go in.
We'll
We're going
take
to
this
turn it into a brush,
minefield.
right?
Yep. We're going to burn 2 of our own, and then we're going to turn it into a
Old
brush.
Poro, no!
Ooh, that Azir is interesting. I
That's
wonder.
the accelerated Azir, right?
Yeah.
That feels pretty good when you're trying to go to time and you need to win by 2, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, there's not many accelerants within green yellow.
Oh.
So
We're gonna play out the feral feline. I don't know what
Yeah.
the name is, but I think it's always star-crossed, right?
No, because this early in the game, seeing how your opponent didn't play any of his one-drop spells, you can definitely name Lightning Rush.
That's
Stack
true.
Deck is a great call too, but I'm pretty sure you name Lightning Rush over Stack Deck
Because
because
it can
of the
go
flow.
twice. Yeah.
Yep.
What?
I'm just gonna ask.
Oh, we're gonna get a confirmation on what the name on feral.
Yep.
Lightning
So
Rush
we
was
named
the
Lightning
name.
Rush. I wonder how many Lightning Rush we actually have in hand. Looks like none.
We're gonna see if we discard one. Actually.
No, looks like that's a Star Cross.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you're right. I think just shutting down the gimmick,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess
The
this is
strategy,
the strategy
the
that
engine.
enables the gimmick. Yes,
Yep.
yes. So especially when you're trying to win by 2, you don't necessarily need to win the game. But like turn 2 meddling mage is just as messed up in Magic. So turn 2 feral feline. Now, is there like a pithing needle rule?
Nope.
In this game where like if I don't know like if I say the Kennen signature spell, like do I have to name it?
No, so you are able to name as much of the card as you're able to.
If there's like a common understanding of what the
Right.
cards
You
attempt.
just
Yeah.
can't be blatant in the fact of like Kaisa,
Yeah.
right? Because now it's like, well, which Kaisa?
But if I say like I want to name like the accelerated Kaisa.
Yes, as long as there's only one accelerated, like you just have to name enough to know that it's this specific card. So
Yeah.
if there's 2 accelerated Kaisas, you just have to be like the red accelerated Kaisa, the blue
Yeah.
accelerated Kaisa.
You don't need to actually like fully name the
No,
name.
you don't have to name
Yeah.
the card. You just
no
have to name enough.
Borborygmos or Borborygmos
Which is
Enraged.
why
Yeah.
I think they did that. They learned from other TCGs.
It's just a feel bad moment.
And I mean, it's also just because like they can print so many copies of the same champion that like just naming Kaisa doesn't do anything. Are you talking about the purple Kaisa, right? Blue Kaisa, yellow Kaisa. I'm not sure if we have a multicolored champion yet, but Twisted Fate is a purple card with 3 different colors on it. So there's definitely going to be times where Legends will have more champions or there's going to be more champions than colors of that legend.
That makes sense, yeah. As it looks like, I don't know if it's super relevant, but no order runes on the side of Ivern.
It could come relevant if he's trying to play a Hidden Blade or that accelerated Azir.
I was going to say the accelerated Azir does not accelerate.
But it looks like most of the power cost really comes from the Calm Domain. And especially, like, you might not have your Order Ruins, but you can always use a Calm Ruin to hide your Hidden Blades.
That's true. Yeah.
So I wonder if it's just like how in Yi we do 7 orange, 5 green. If it's one of those type of splits, maybe like an 8 and 4 or 7-5.
Because I mean, at least not out of the sideboard. I think the only card that uses the yellow is going to be that Hidden Blade. I would be interested to see if, probably not worth it, but this deck could play Stunning Kennen.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see if that like has a spot. I mean, it's hard because your deck wants certain tags, and Kennen doesn't fulfill any of those tags.
It may not fulfill tags, but it could help you be a body spell,
Yeah.
right? So like it takes up an extra slot. Like say you wanted a 4th back off, you could play Kennen because now you're using that as like a hidden version versus hard casting.
Yeah.
And then Kennen can also score you points.
That makes
So
sense.
there's always room.
As the Fizz is going to come down here, I imagine this Fizz will hit the stack deck, or it could hit the Starcross. Starcross wouldn't surprise me because then you can reset this feline. It will be the stack deck, though.
Yeah, it's just stack deck. You haven't seen a lightning rush yet, so you're not really worried about this feline anymore.
Yeah.
And even if you do, there's enough ways for you to pitch it now.
Yeah.
And
with
then,
the Traveling Merchant.
Yep. And then cast it later when you actually need to remove the feline.
I guess that actually, you probably don't want to bounce it at this point because you don't have a Lightning Rush and you don't care about it probably super much. So bouncing it allows them to reset it and name something else. It's probably
'Cause,
better
like,
to just leave it.
Because now, say you star-cross the Fizz and the feline, and then they replay it naming Ride the Wind, shutting off your whole Fizz play for the next turn.
Gosh, I really do. Like, I'm calling it now, and it's probably not correct, but I do think we're going to go to time, and this accelerated Azir is going to snag that second point.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be-
it hyped you up against this Ezreal. It's gonna hype you up against this Kennen.
I'm here for it. I mean, like, we're fortifying this battlefield to no end currently.
Yeah, your Kennen has no big unit yet, so you're not really afraid.
And we're
going
gonna
to
put a tank there too.
You're just gonna keep it coming, and then everything that's there is getting a +1 buff. So
Yeah.
you basically have a Trifarian war camp at home that's really only one-sided. That has to feel really good.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're gonna accelerate the Azir now and
No,
snag.
I think we're just gonna play it. No need to put it at the other battlefield.
I guess that's fair.
Like, you're not a Yi that's really looking to defend as much. You don't have any hidden cards. You can't defy combat damage, so.
But
base
notably, we have one little mana one little rune floating, and if I'm the Kennen player, I'm a little suspicious. Because, like, when you go to time, the one spell not resolving is the difference between you winning and losing. So having that counter spell here could be clutch. As
Agreed.
I'm intrigued. Oh, okay, we got a seal. Absolutely cracked game action here. Gonna reduce our power cost going forward. One flow. Look at that. That is
So then-
sportsmanship here.
Where do you place this last rites, though? Are you putting it on the Kennen to get a double conquer trigger with the Zon Warrens? Or are you going to try to use it as extra might to chip down first and then use it as a conquer effect?
I think we're gonna see the Fizz go in first. I'm not really sure. I think you have to chip through this battlefield. I think the thing that makes it difficult is, like, chipping seemed a lot more realistic before the tank cat came down. The tank cat means you're going to have to probably use your Kennen Legend, although we are going to play a Star-Crossed here, and we're going to return the Feline, because I think we finally have found our Lightning Rush. Now, I don't know if that rises to the Defy, but I think we are just going to do it. Like, not allowing the Lightning Rush, you know, you're doing a lot of things there. You're denying 2 cards from the Lightning Rush for the first one and the flow. You haven't seen any Nocturnes yet. Lightning Rush is going to fill your graveyard or your trash for this last rites. Rasas you don't know about it, but the Rasas in hand will all of a sudden become free. So I do think that was a good defy. Traveling Merchant does look like he's going to be the first one to go. He's just going to go in, get his draw discard. And I actually wonder if that defy is enough to make it happen.
Did you discard?
We discarded the Angler.
Okay. Gonna say, you said draw discard. I only saw the draw.
Yeah.
Unless it was immediate discard.
Yeah, we threw the Angler down. Yeah, right now the hand is Lightning Rush. I think it's Lightning Rush, Flash,
Angler's
Rasa.
not too good when all of your
Okay, so we are going to free up the
opponent's units
Lightning
are
Rush,
getting buffed.
but it comes at the cost of Traveling Merchant and our Kennen. I don't think we care super much, because I think right now it's about unlocking our Rasa, which we're going to get multiple of here.
I think that's a Nocturne as well.
Yeah, Nocturne's going to come out. We're going to put the Rasa in hand. I think we have enough to make both of our Rasas free. And so this is where, you just put 16 power on board.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at 1 card in the...
See, now, do you equip this last rites here? So that way you can replay like a Traveling Merchant for
I don't
next
think you
turn?
need to. I really don't think you need to.
Yeah, you want more ruins for the following turn?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think you're going to go to turns here. And so making sure that you have the power to muscle through that +2, because you're going to need to chip through this battlefield.
Yeah.
And being able to drop 2 Rasas does look like we are...
Well, because, like, if you equip the last rites here, that gives you an extra body for the next turn.
Yeah.
And then you're also going to hold more than likely.
I guess that's true.
And then, oh, so he had a Rasa and Trash. Yeah, so
I
you
see, I
get
see.
2 Rasas for doing this, and one of them can help you.
We have 2 in hand too, I think.
2 in hand?
I think there's 2 in hand, yeah.
They go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think.
Unless one of them got discarded to an effect that I missed. Maybe one of them got discarded to the Zon Warren, and I
Mhm.
missed that.
So I say.
I mean, this is going to help. I don't know how much it's going to help.
And being even on points is nice because you have a better time attacking into these battlefields.
Dude, this would be
than
the time to
defending.
rip your daisy straight off the top. It's a Vi. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Because like, you can just vie a 0 on the top and just.
You do have a
hold,
back off, which is actually clutch in turns.
and you can hold, and you have enough energy to play vie and back off.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch, actually.
So then you can see what else you draw on your opponent's turn.
And we did see the second Rasa come down.
Yep.
The cannon has 2 runes.
So we're thinking.
Can't take them with you.
So we hold to 4. We know we can get to 5.
Yes, which does put us at +2.
And then we have the back off to hold us to 6 potentially. So I think this is kind of in Ivern's
I mean, the Vi is really nice.
Ivern's back to lose right now, and then it's really
Well,
up to
there is a flash available, which does save the fizz, which means you don't have to equip the last rites again. I guess I don't know that. Well, it's nice because
yeah.
if
But
you can get rid of the fizz, then you don't have to worry about the last rites hold trigger.
with no Defy in hand, I think you can't get rid of the Fizz either way.
Oh, Ivern's coming out.
Okay, Ivern's another one that gets a +1 might.
Yep. I mean, just stacking the battlefield up, and it looks like we're gonna find our
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's actually really
that's really
backbreaking.
strong,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because now
+4 on defense.
Yep.
Trades with a Nocturne.
Oh, are we not gonna grab that though? We're gonna opt for. Is that the Vile Maw?
Yes.
We do not have enough to cast the Vile Maw right now.
I think the Vile Maw is for next turn because it looks like we're probably not going to attempt this Fizz play, right?
And I think we're letting the opponent read the Vile Maw, but we do have the hard cast back off. He did forget to empower.
He did forget to empower.
Yes. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, Teddy? Do we go tell
It's
him?
low OPO, so we can let them know. In a high OPO setting, that would be a miss trigger.
Well, we haven't been interfering though, unless.
So yeah, we haven't interfered at all today. So I would say we're gonna let them play as is, since we did that in earlier games, because then that would feel bad for the turn to dust play.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, we can iterate how commentators can step in.
Yeah, I mean that is the difference. I mean you are a judge, but you are not judging this
Right.
event.
So
And with this game coming down to the wire, I do think I would encourage the player accountability.
and this would
Feels bad,
be
but
a great
Milwaukee's coming up.
reminder for
Yeah.
Milwaukee up. Because Kennen is a missable trigger.
Yeah.
So it is not on us to remind players about their own effects. Because generally, even as a judge, you are not required to step into a match to
Mhm.
remind them about board state until an opponent says something.
Yeah.
So you can just let them continue playing wrong until opponent goes, I think this is wrong. And if it's unrewindable, then that's a learning moment. And we can progress forward. If it is rewindable, still a learning moment, but we are able to change our mistakes.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued. Oh, it looks like the cannon was readied just now.
So it's his turn.
I see.
Looks like he played Traveling Merchant for the hold trigger off
Okay.
of Last Rites, and then we channeled 2 for the turn.
So, because there was no combat, the cannon becoming empowered didn't have an impact, but he did miss the first.
Well, Kennen, this is where the impact of the missed Kennen trigger will happen, because Kennen gives Assault, which
Yeah.
isn't usable when you're defending. It's
No,
not
no,
shield.
yeah. I'm just
So-
saying that it didn't matter because he was able to get his cannon back on his turn by playing the Traveling Merchant for the hold.
But that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't matter on the Ivern's turn
Yeah.
because he would be defending, and
Yeah.
assault is an attack trigger.
No, I know.
So-
We're saying the same thing. I'm just saying it doesn't matter that he missed it because he gets it back. Because the
right, but it matters on this turn
no,
because now he's gonna be the attacker.
You won't have the.
He won't have the assault for his attack. Assault is only on attack, so he needs it for his attacking turn, not his defending turn, which is why it would matter.
I see.
Coming back with it would be huge.
Right. Because on this turn, if he can make this Rasa into an 8 or
Yeah.
this Nocturne into a
So
6,
you're saying that he can't use it this turn,
unless he empowers it, no.
but he just played the Traveling Merchant, or is that?
And he missed it again. That's the problem. He's missing the empowerment of Kennen from playing off of Last Rites.
I see.
That's where the issue is coming from.
I see.
And Kennen being a missable trigger is something that
I guess because he untapped it, I thought he empowered it.
right. Yeah, no.
How do you how do you signify the empower? Do you need the token?
You need the token.
I see. I see.
Or
Yeah.
yep, Blade Magician.
Did we
keys.
just use the Mars Super Smash Bros? I love that. That's a great gif. I love watching my goat lose on Zero Suit Samus because they nerfed her into the ground. You know, they should bring it back to Brawl where she gets to start with items from her armor. Okay, well, I've been told by production that is not allowed. He does keep forgetting. R.I.P. to our Kennen player.
Yeah, well, learnable moments, man. Learnable moments.
It's gonna be a
Oh,
field.
and we have a Huron. Huron is a bird. So that goes along tags. He's like, I know what that one does. So Ivern's going to hold to 5. We get the Huron trigger off the Ivern hold effect. So now this is where the Huron can come in major play, right? Because
Yeah.
you can play the Huron to a battlefield and then hide the back off.
Okay.
Use the back off as your first card and then make the next card 2 and 2 power less.
Okay.
So if he can hold up 3 afterwards, that's an extra Vi out of
Okay.
hand.
Oh, we drew a Blitzcrank. That's not nasty.
And then
Something's getting yoinked into that
I'm
battle.
gonna say even now, if he has an extra 3, he can play Huron into Blitzcrank.
It's messed up.
Yeah, this is gonna go crazy, dude. This Ivern deck is insane.
I think we are solidly in turns at this point, though. Like, I don't know if it got called, but like we said, we were.
We should be in turns.
Yeah. Because we said 14 minutes, like 25 minutes ago.
Yeah. On that one, I would make sure they know they're in turns.
Making sure if Steven's sitting there.
Yeah. We'll see if they know if they're in turns. They may already be in turns. But yeah, I mean, you'd rather learn this lesson here at the Nexus night than at Milwaukee. So
100%.
feels a lot worse
Because at
there.
least now you can rewatch the VOD,
Yeah.
learn some things.
Hear the commentators talk about whether your deck is a gimmick or not. Or whether Nocturne is the gimmick of your deck. But oh my gosh, that hand is so his hand is so stacked on the Ivern side. He has a Daisy and a Blitzcrank. That's like messed up.
So yeah, it looks like we're...
They got 2 minutes left in their OT. Or whatever the hell they're talking about. They're in overtime.
They're in overtime?
We're
So
doing
they're not-
timed overtime. We're doing timed overtime. Yeah.
That's what Louis told me.
So you have 2 ways to do overtime in this game.
Yeah.
You can either do 3 turns.
Yeah.
And then win by 2. I mean, both. Either way, it's win by 2.
Yeah,
Or you have an extra 10 minutes.
I see.
So it's either an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or an hour and 3 turns
Which
plus minutes.
So it sounds like we've opted in this
10
tournament
minutes,
to do
yeah.
10 minutes. So they have 2 minutes left, and Ivern is up by 2.
And whoever is up by 2 at the end of those 10 minutes
And
is
if
the
it's not
winner.
up by 2, it's a draw.
It's a
right?
draw.
So then as Kennen, I don't think you're winning. So then you're playing for the draw at this point.
Probably.
With 2 turns left.
Looking at these 2 battlefields, yeah, you're playing for the draw.
Yeah.
Unless you're.
I love how the Ivern battlefields are so big that like they're spilling into each other.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things. That
I
probably
mean, well, it's the brush, bro.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Ivern does? He connects brushes together to make a longer jungle.
dude, there's nothing funnier than playing ARAM and having Ivern.
Oh,
Like,
and then we're gonna hide this card, so
oh, what is it?
we could potentially have 2 free
it's the
spells.
back off, right?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Unless you drew a hidden blade, but I'm pretty sure it's the back off from hand.
Okay.
And yeah, we're gonna start
you-
getting dice to represent the might. That's how you know you have a big battlefield, is when you gotta bust
And-
out the dice.
You know it would help a lot here. Assault 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels bad.
I think Assault 2 over the past maybe 2 turns
Would've broken
would
the-
have
yeah.
broken the battlefield.
Well,
a
because
bit.
there was what 2 activations that we missed, which is
Yeah, we
4
missed-
power,
yep.
which lets you chip through this board,
Yeah.
which means that the tank cat isn't there.
Tank Cat's not there. Ivern probably wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Hell, you probably could have took out the Azir too. So, or no, I think Azir went there last turn.
All right. We're inspecting the graveyard. I'm not quite sure why we're inspecting the graveyard at this point.
Just to see what type of fizz plays could happen, right?
But you don't
'Cause-
have any mana. You should just.
Well,
Like,
you have a Huron. So what the combo with Huron is you hide a card,
Mhm.
play the hidden card, and then your next card costs 2 and 2 power less. So if it's a 2 and 2 power card, it now costs 0 to play.
I think we're counting out the might at the battlefield. Right? Or no, we're just lining it up to make it more clear.
Yeah, I
see.
think we're just making it clear, and then we're gonna bust out dice.
Oh wait, hold on. Is there enough to? No, it's 2 and 2, right? 2 power, 2 might. Dang, I say you can't put out a Blitzcrank.
2 power 2. Yeah, no. And Blitzcrank doesn't have ambush anyways,
I see.
so it's only turn speed. That's why I was using Here to Help in set 2,
Yeah.
because Here to Help can be hidden, and then you can play a Blitzcrank at reaction speed.
So I think obviously like the battlefield to break is not the one with 24. Okay, so we are gonna remove bounce the astral.
Yeah, I think you bounce Astro now to see what the hidden card is, because if you don't play the hidden card in response to Astro being
Oh,
bounced,
we're gonna put a Rasa to our hand.
I think that's a mistake.
I mean, if you're only playing for the draw anyway, you just have to get through a Zir, which is 6, and you already have a Nocturne and a Rasa, so.
Well, who's to say the Ivern can't take it topside?
How did we just. Or because. Wait. How did we empower the Kennen there? I'm confused.
I'm assuming the Kennen was acknowledged amongst the players, just wasn't empowered.
I see. So then this whole time,
It was empowered.
it was empowered. Okay, so wasn't it. You know what?
So, but he was using the empowerment.
Oh,
earlier.
played Fizz. Yeah. This is
So.
what the immaculate casting at 10:25. Absolutely. The 9 to 5, the Star-Crossed empowered it. Yes, you are correct, Blader Magician. No need for the Mars emote. He had got it empowered anyway.
But like we said, that's at least 2 turns of empowerment.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
No.
here. So you said it was 2 minutes at 10:20, right? So they finished this turn. Is that how it works when you do the timed ones? Because like I
It's
feel like
supposed to be whenever the last second is done, the game's done.
'Cause,
and
like-
you stop right then and there. But we don't have a judge circumventing this event, so there's no one to tell them to stop necessarily, and we
Yeah.
don't even know what time it is. So
yeah, that's fair.
I think we're just gonna sit here, enjoy
I think it's gonna be a draw.
this last turn,
Yeah.
and then we'll see how it goes. Because it's been almost an hour and a half for this round.
Yes.
So
We're gonna Tide Turner the Fizz back. 2 Ross's.
So he should be at 5 now, right?
Hmm?
So it's 6 to 5.
Yeah, it is 6 to 5 because he got the Conqueror. at the
And
Warrens.
now we have a draw.
Did we trigger the Warrens? Is it a May?
No. So I don't.
Maybe he doesn't know if you play something from last right, it empowers Kennen.
Yeah, I think that's what we were assuming earlier as well.
Looks like Nocturne is going to go in first.
But like I would feel like if you know that it empowers off of Fizz, you should know it empowers off of last rights because they're technically doing the same thing. And that's Seed of Warren or Seed of Power, not Warrens. Zon was in game 1.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That is correct.
So do we back off now?
I think you just take the trade. And then, because, like, if, like, I mean, you're already at a draw. Like, I don't think it entirely matters because he's at 5.
He is at 5, by the way.
So now we're just reinforcing over here.
And once we end this turn, we're going to go stop them.
Discard a flash. Draw. Discard. Lightning Rush. Yeah.
So, all right, looks like we got ourselves a draw in the last round of Azir, Ivern, and Kennen. So now, are we going to finish it out? We're done?
No, it's a draw.
So it looks like we're done. It's going to be a draw between the two. It was great to really see an Ivern at our top tables. So we've always had a different deck in our last rounds every week. Kennen finally was able to put up some numbers this time, seeing him in that last round. Didn't really gimmick as much. He was being a true Kennen pilot. So it was a pretty fun night, actually. You know, we had our two winners from last week face each other. Azure came out on bottom from the Azir, so Azir was able to pull that out.
Yeah, I think it was it was eventful. We saw our players that we had seen kind of like succeed very heavily in our first round with Ambessa able to put in the work. Ezreal did not get there.
Not
and
this
then
week.
we saw a draw in the end. So even though the last round was a little elongated, I did enjoy seeing Ivern. As we get in further into the Vendetta meta, I'm excited to see kind of what other decks pop up here at the locals. But
Me too. So and if I see any of you at Milwaukee, say what's up. I'd love to say hello to everybody and meet you. So have a great night.
Yeah.
This is Teddy out.
this is Soap. Have a good night.